Hello and welcome to Valorant CVC Week 3. My name is Trae Linkling and I'm here with.
Jacob Chuagunjum.
And we are here with our first Valorant stream of the semester. It's a pretty exciting moment for us. Our team just started CVC 2 weeks ago, happening every Friday. We're against the very prestigious Harvard University, which is a bit of a funny matchup considering we're considered, the public Ivy, and they're like, an Ivy, one of the most prestigious schools in America. So it's exciting to see how our teams will perform in this matchup today. But how are you feeling about this game today?
I mean, it's definitely going to be something interesting to see. Both Miami and Harvard are currently 1-1 within the CVC. Miami is actually technically rated higher. We're about seeded 7th, Harvard 16th. So there's kind of a big gap there, but it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens here because also Harvard has has a very well-known player on their team, but we also have some very good players on ours.
Yeah, let's talk about that Miami roster for a little bit. It's definitely been switched up compared to last semester. We've had a lot of different roster shakeups every single year for Valorant. Our only returning member is going to be Budetti on that IGL slot. He's been with our team since his freshman year 2 years ago. He's been our IGL, trying to make sure the team's in line, and he's really been trying to build up and practice a lot with this team of mostly freshmen. And we do have one senior who's finally joined the varsity team after being part of our club Valorant and being our club president this year for a while. That is going to be Pathos, or Sleepyhead is his other gamer tag as well. But like we said, Miami's 1-1, so clearly they show that they can win matches. But it's whether will they crumble under pressure under Harvard and their semi-famous in the Valorant community player Uilas, or will they really show their stuff today and show that all their practicing all the week has paid off, and we're Miami Valorant and we're ready to not only run this conference but our ESC conference in the spring.
Yeah, and it's going to be really cool to see how it's going to evolve too, because we have 3 out of the main 5 today who are going to be playing who are freshmen. And I mean, these freshmen are definitely going in with a lot of skill, a lot of talent, and hopefully we're going to have them for a while and see kind of where it's going to go from here. And then also once we get into the ESC in the spring, how that team is going to look, especially after we get through the CVC and different tournaments like this. It's going to be really fun to watch, and also really fun to just play against teams like Harvard that are usually not going to be in our league scores, and just kind of watching how it's going to progress on. Again, both of them are at 1-1, so very close. Hopefully, going to be a very good game. And also having that prestige factor from not just Harvard, but also Uilas, the Valorant player, who has kind of a smaller following. Definitely going to be one of those bigger games for Miami.
And it looks like we're about to head into agent select here. We'll see what our map is here. We're going to bind. It's a pretty good map. I do love the different things that the teleporters can do across the map. There's going to be one teleport in the middle of the map that takes you from one part of the B site, one part of A sites, and then there's going to be one on some of the farther wings of B and A site to bring you around. And those teleporters can really shake up the gameplay because, like with Valorant, there's some characters who can teleport across the whole map, like Omen. But if anyone can teleport, then that can really shake up how things go. Seems like the Miami Valorant roster is going to be mostly locked in. We got Adam on Doomty on that the Gecko. We got Pathos on the Sky, so we're going for a double initiator comp here and double controller, which has been pretty common comp for this map in the past. We do see Harvard hovering their comp here, and we do see that Yoru hovered on the side of Harvard. This is one of the few maps that Yoru shines because he's one of the characters that can teleport. He can throw teleports that can kind of just linger for a couple seconds on the map. And when you combine teleports with other teleports, you can throw a teleporter through a teleporter and kind of like a double teleport type thing. It can really shake up the enemy and just get him into some sneaky little spots that you might not expect. So I won't be surprised if they ended up blocking that in. And then we also see the newest agent to Valorant, Waylay, being locked in by Uilas of Harvard. Seems like they're going to lock in their comp shortly. And I'm really excited to see how this goes when we get into our game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting too because we have 2 Brimstone players, 2 controllers on both sides, and it's going to be kind of cool to see Uilas playing Waylay, who is again one of the newer players. Not a lot of people are doing it yet, and having the double initiator, double controller, and having that one duelist with we have Raze as the duelist, who's being played by Sith Lord. Kind of going to be cool to watch here.
Yeah, and I was talking to one of our players, Sith Lord, actually the other day about Waylay. I know when Waylay first came out, the community thought they were a little bit weaker, maybe not the best agent, but I think as people started to figure out, kind of what this agent does, she's really risen up in the meta. So I'm excited to see how the that sort of dynamic works in the round like this. But Miami starting on attack. Seems like we're going for a B hit first. We have 3 on Harvard, ready to go to try to get that through. We do see the Viper on Miami's side getting ready for potentially a lurk play. But I know that Viper wall going straight through A is pretty standard for this map, so they might just throw that and come run my back. But here we go with map 1 of this match here. Pathos immediately going to be sending out that Sky Dog going down long, and we will see if they clear out anything. That trip's going to be hit. I'm not sure if they saw that, but it did get destroyed here. Miami's going to slowly try to push up long, try to see if they can get anything on the site as Harvard tries to rotate back in, but Favorite Liar getting a kill on Uilas right away. Great first blood for Miami. That frees up their options a lot as Harvard has to realize, will Miami follow that pick onto A and switch to A site, or will they continue on this B push here?
Yeah, it's going to be cool because also that now that Favorite Liar was able to get one person off at A, they might send some people over, and that's looking like what they're doing. It looks like 2 of Harvard's players are going over to A, and it looks like Miami's going to be taking A now, kind of going off of B. And here we have some of our skirmishes. We're going to have 2 smokes coming in here. It looks like 2 brimstone, 3 brimstone smokes here, and the spike does get planted by Ohio. It's going to be kind of interesting to see now that also Miami has all 5 players. Harvard's down to 2. They're down to their Brimstone and Cypher. They're both going to be kind of watching here, getting ready to make some plays. It looks like Favorite Liar is going to get the kill on Brimstone, and we have Cypher, and that's going to be a flawless for Miami.
Amazing first round for Miami, getting that flawless. You know, that first kill from, I believe that was Favorite Liar on the Viper, was huge for Miami. That allowed them to teleport over safely and left a lot of pressure on Harvard because they're already a man down, and it wasn't really a tradable kill. Because typically, you know, if someone dies, there might be someone there to just kill the person who killed them, and then now you're pretty much even. But now that Miami was up, they were able to take that site really effectively. And it seems like Miami's just going to go for the same strat here. Like I said, that Viper wall, which they already threw up on A, is a pretty safe bet. It allows you to, you know, walk up to that teleporter, walk up to the U-Haul, or even sneak around the other way the enemy isn't paying attention. So it's a really good piece of utility, and that's why Miami picked Viper on this map.
Yeah, Miami going B here again. It's going to be kind of cool to see. It looks like Viper has the wall back up again on A. Viper is going to be getting ready to take some shots and gets a double kill, but they get taken out by Uilas. But already having that little lead, 4-5 Miami. Great play there by Favorite Liar.
Miami already has a site up 1 player. You see Uilas or Willie, I don't know, on the waylay, flanking. But we have Gecko watching behind a Doomty. Tried to get a shot out, took a little bit of damage, knows that he's there. It's going to fall back to the rest of his team. And we do see the other 2 Harvard members coming from the back of the site. Adam's going to try to watch to make sure Willies can't get anything off this flank, but Willies does have a Phantom against the Sheriff. What's going to happen here? A Doomty's going to get the 1 tap onto Willies and get that gun. Also, Sith Lord going to kill onto Akaro, and Pathos to kill on the Salary. What a masterclass of attack from Miami on both these maps. Great stuff.
Yeah, Miami definitely has some knowledge here. I mean, they're only going down. There was 1 kill that game. They had nobody died last game. They're taking out Harvard real quick, and they're being very precise about this. They're all watching each entrance. They're all watching each corner. Getting ready. Also, kind of watching their buy phase. They're still mainly staying with some pistols with some people. I definitely think Favorite Liar going with some of the different guns. I believe they're on the sheriff there. Definitely going to be doing some 1-taps, going through some headshots, getting ready for that. It looks like, again, Miami's going to do the same thing. Viper wall in A. They're going to be going B. They're going to get ready to go there. It looks like Harvard's going to be trying to send something up, getting ready for something there. Flamingo is going to be right next to Favorite Liar, kind of in a weird standoff position. Favorite Liar is going to kind of hold that corner. The wall's going to go back up. It looks like we have some Brimstone smokes over by B, and Harvard's kind of just hunkering down over at B, maybe trying to get a little going for a little flanking there, but it looks like it's already down to 1 person. It looks like it's only down to Favorite Liar playing Viper. 3v1, going to be kind of hard here for Favorite Liar to come back.
Yeah, and if you saw at the beginning of the round there, Favorite Liar was doing the typical Viper wall onto A, but Williams was able to sneak past on the other side of the wall. We barely saw them miss each other, and that allowed Williams to get 2 kills from behind and really slow down Miami's push here. And there goes Favorite Liar team down by Salary. And yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of expected. Typically in Valorant, if you win the first 2 rounds, you typically like to save on the 3rd round. just to keep your economy high, and then you go buy. And for same thing for defenders. If you lose the first 2 rounds, then you typically full buy the 3rd one, just so you can at least make sure that deficit doesn't get too high. So it's not too unexpected of a loss, just based on the guns alone. But that flank by Uilas was really, really unfortunate for Miami. Seems like they're going to still go for the B push, still playing that same Viper wall. Maybe it'll work better this time. It seems like Favorite Liar is just going to decide to push with Miami instead of doing lurk towards A. But, that also still puts pressure on Harvard. Like, maybe he's still lurking there, waiting for us to come push him. But here, it looks like we're going to swing right into Uilas here. He's able to dash right back, but take some damage. Doesn't get hit by the Star Dog, I don't think, but Miami's still going to be full force pushing into this long part of the site here.
Yeah, and it looks like they already have 1 kill on Harvard, and Miami's already going to be going over. They're going to be going over A now, it looks like, kind of messing up Harvard's ideas. Most of them are over in B. It looks like some of them are getting ready to flank at the top. We got 1 person at A, though, and Viper Wall goes up. Again, it's going to be kind of like the tried and true. Viper Wall goes up, and they're going to go in. There's some Brimstone smokes there. They don't know where they're going to set up the spike and get ready for there. And there's another kill by Adam T. And Harvard Sound 3-5. It's going to be looking good for Miami here. They're going to get ready for some of the pushback from Harvard.
Yeah, Miami has some really good defensive positioning right now. They have 2 people waiting in U-Haul to see if anyone swings out and tries to get there. They had the trade there. So the Thor's waiting to see if there's any sort of info onto that bomb tap and can try to swing out. We have 2 Miami on the flank here, too. So something Miami's ready for all sorts of pushes that Harvard could do, but Harvard is already taken back with the site. Miami's just going to be playing strictly reactionary here. See what Harvard decides to do, and then react to that. They have the numbers to do so. Let's see if Sithor decides to swing. Swings out that who's a huge flash and gets all 3. Adude getting 1 kill, Sithor getting 2. Another flawless victory for Miami. It seems like once they finally had those guns back, things just swept right back into their direction.
Yeah, crazy play from them there, especially kind of reading what that smoke was going to do and being ready to play off of that. They knew that they were going to be kind of pushing over there, and just being able to get that quick peek before the other team was able to get there definitely made it so that they were able to get the edge there. And it looks like they're going to be going back into buy phase, and we're going to be getting into the next round here. Miami's up 3-1 to Harvard. It's going to be really interesting to see. It looks like they're going to be pushing B again, maybe. Kind of going for more of a middle strat where they can go off and flank A or B.
Ooh, Favorite Liar has a huge positioning here now. If he drops the wall soon, oh, that's going to be a huge kill. Oh, Willis was ready for that, unfortunately. Favorite Liar couldn't have that good positioning. If none of them were checking, that could have been an easy 3K right there. But Sithor was just going to go right out on the B site. Resta getting 1. Covering for Sithor, that's a good kill. We still have Salary on the side of B, but they're just going to be trying to rotate back for the rest of their team. The rest of Harvard is just going to be coming through the back of the side as well. It's going to be 4v4. Miami already has the bomb down. They're in a pretty advantageous situation, but no ultimates to be had. Waylay does have her ultimates, which could help out Harvard here too, but it seems like Adam's just going to pop that Gecko ult. Gets 1 onto Flamingo, gets the stun out. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill that, but Harvard is still keeping their fight in the game. That's going to be 1 down, and Miami takes that round anyways. That was a huge Gecko ult from Adam. Did allow Harvard to put out much pressure from the backside, and just allowed everyone else to take it out, even though there was a couple trades in there. Great stuff for Miami. And Favorite Liar with 8 kills, 3 deaths. Really showing they're really good at this, getting those lurks on the other side and making sure that Miami's secure the rest of their pushes, bringing us to 4-1.
Yeah, Miami here definitely doing a lot of great single plays, especially coming from Favorite Liar, like you were saying. Favorite Liar just kind of going off doing their own thing is working kind of pretty well, actually. And they're able to hold their own against maybe 3 different Harvard players, especially holding their own against Uilas there. And just kind of watching how it's going to be here, it looks like Miami's going to be going A here and already going to be kind of going in for some attacks. We're going to be watching Favorite Liar here going in, getting ready to go. And they're going to maybe see one of Harvard's players. It looks like we're already down 1 for Miami's side in the scrimmage that's happening over at A side. And it looks like down 2 Miami, 3-4 with the amount of characters we have. It's going to be kind of hard here to see. And it looks like Waylay is going to try to take out Adam.
That was a good trade from Sithor, but unfortunately we did lose a player. Just get another kill on the Willius there. Oh no, Sithor goes down to a Stinger in U-Haul. It's going to be a bad pot for Miami. They do have the bomb down, so they have a little bit advantageous scenario. It's 2v2. They're going to be able to try to come at that bomb if it gets tried to get defused, but no, both players were left low, and Akaro getting their 3K with that Stinger, just pushing right through that smoke and getting all of Miami down, while Salary safely defuses the spike. Harvard's back on the board with another game, saying, we aren't fully out. We still got a little bit of a chance, trying to close that gap even further. That's going to definitely help Harvard's economy as well, which is struggling a little bit. We saw Akaro on the Stinger, which only costs like 1,000 credits compared to Miami, who was on full rifles, costing around 3,000 credits. But it seems like Miami still has enough to full buy. Harvard also has enough to hopefully flip out a little bit. We see the judge on the Euro switches to the outlaw. Never mind. He's gonna go for a sniper instead. But Miami still has a lot of momentum in this game. It was a couple of unfortunate first picks for Harvard there for Miami to go through, but they're still definitely in this game. Gonna go back to the tried and true, mostly B push with Favorite Liar on a bit of the A lurk. We'll see if Favorite Liar can get everything there, but Harvard is all 5 on B. We'll see if Miami's prepared to react to this sort of hard defense that they have here. So I may have figured out Miami's pattern.
Yeah, and there's already an early kill with Miami taking out one of their players, and it looks like they're going to be trying to get ready for it. The Brimstone smoke there. I mean, Miami was really able to take some advantage there, get one kill, and it looks like they're going to be circling back and going to A. Kind of following up with what Favorite Liar is going to be doing, kind of going back in with it, going to take advantage of that Viper wall there. And it looks like they're going to try to plant the spike here. None of Harvard is over here yet. They're still working on flanking, or they're working on stealing on B. But there is a kill there on Miami. Viper is down, so that means Favorite Liar was taken out by Harvard, though. The rest of Harvard looks like they're going to be circling back around, going to A. One person is going to be going from the back, kind of trying to flank them off here.
Yeah, we do see Pathos with a good angle here. Gets one, but gets traded, unfortunately. We do see Salary from behind. It doesn't get Rysick, but Sithor gets a nice kill on the Uilas. That's going to be back to 2v2. We do have Ray's ult for the defuse. Is it going to get used? We're not sure. Harvard's going to get to half. It's going to get off the bomb. They had to get off the bomb because of that Gecko Molly there. Let's see if they try to get back onto it. That Ray's ult's going to come out. It's going to get one. It's going to get one. A Carl down, but Salary takes the Trae down. And Harvard doesn't have time to defuse it, and it kills them anyway. Good stuff from Adumti. Bringing it out, being the last one alive, clutching it up. Miami up 5-2. That was a good use of that result, and we finally was able to safely make sure that they couldn't defuse the spike. It was a little bit heart-wrenching there, but we got it there. A little bit stressful. We got it done.
Yeah, definitely stressful, especially with that great placement with the Gecko ult. I mean, just setting that down, making it so they had to get off of there to make sure they weren't taken out. But also having that smoke that was placed down, really just interesting play where they were able to go for the spike, but had to back off. Then that gave time for Miami to kind of do a counterattack, take some shots, take some of them out, and it looks like we're already going to have some shenanigans going on here from Harvard. Harvard, again, already down one very early in the match, and Miami's going to be down one too. Viper's going to be taken out here. That's going to be Favorite Liar. So it looks like the A push is going to be happening with Miami. They're going to go for it, but Harvard definitely going to be doing a lot of different angles, going for a different kind of counterattack here. But most of one or two of Harvard's are still over at B site, so kind of going to be interesting to see, is Miami going to try to go for A site spike, or are they going to kind of move over to B?
Rysick gets one, he gets hit by the Euro Flash, but still gets another! That's a huge kill for them. That's going to be that Brimstone going to be going down there, though. Rysick going to get taken down, but, it was a 1v3. There's not much you could do there. Sithor going to take down Uilas and going to bring it up to 6-2. This is a huge spot for Miami to be in. This means, though, at worst, this half can end in the tie, which is really good for them to go forward. You might say that, Bind is a little bit more attack-sided because of all of those teleports. Obviously, I honestly haven't played the game in a while, so that might have changed, with the upcoming meta. But even if you can make sure that at the worst this half ends in the tie, that brings things, makes things a lot better for when you switch to that defender half after round 12 here. Miami's going to go back to pretty much the same tried and true push, but this time Harvard's going to be 4 stacking on A, expecting that Miami might try to do a rotate back. Favorite Liar, watching Shower, seeing if anyone's going to pull out, but it seems like they're going to be, Uilas is going to be jiggle picking that, trying to see if anyone's going to swing him. Ends up seeing Favorite Liar, doesn't take any damage, and is just going to back off there. Miami is playing extremely passive right now. They're trying to see if Harvard's going to do anything aggressive here, but Harvard's the one also playing extremely passive. But because Miami has to attack before that time is over and either kill them all or plant the spike, that means Miami is kind of forced to make the first action here unless Harvard decides to be a little more aggressive, which Uilas is deciding to push out of Showers. Is going to swing into Favorite Liar. Ooh, it's going to take a lot of damage. Is not going to die, though. Favorite Liar's going to swing back. But Waylay with those double dashes is just going to instantly get out, back with full health. Favorite Liar wants that kill, though. Really wants Uilas dead here. Is he going to back out, or is he going to get the kill? Let's see.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting here. They're going to watch the corner, and they're going to get ready and maybe get a shot off there. They're going to see Waylay going to do a little bomb placement there. But, I mean, kind of just having a standoff here. Miami is slowly pushing forward. Kind of don't know where they're going to go yet. It looks like maybe favoring B side a little more. But, I mean, Favorite Liar and Uilas are going to be kind of in a deadlock here. So we're not going to be really worrying about both of them joining the fray. And it looks like there is a bigger fray going on with the other 4 on each team going for something here. There's a nice smoke placement by Brimstone there and getting ready for some play. It looks like an ultimate goes out here, and I mean, Miami going down like flies. It's now 3-3, and again we see Viper, Favorite Liar, getting ready, and we have Harvard down to 1, just their Brimstone player. Miami's back at Viper and Gecko. Their Brimstone player is going to try to hide in that smoke as much as possible, but that spike is going to go off soon. They're going to need to do some play here.
Yeah, we're gonna see Favorite Liar on 5 HP is gonna swing out. Is gonna unfortunately go down, but Adam is right there. That's the power of 2 against 1. He covered the other angle and was able to take him down. Adam with a 3K. And I don't know if anyone in the chat has seen that League of Legends player reacts to Valorant clip. That's the exact same site on Bind B, and there was like so many ultimates going out. That's what I was thinking in the back of the head. Is like smoke, dog cam, cat cam. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, Miami up 7-2. Gonna be guaranteed advantage going to this next half. Only 3 rounds left for Harvard to try to get up to 5-7. Especially if they can win that first round on their attacker half. Harvard is not out of this game yet, but we'll see. Harvard really needs another win here to bring their economy back up. Most of Harvard is force buying onto these rifles with only light shields, but Adam is going to instantly pull out with the Gecko ultimate. It's going to allow them to stun anyone if he sees anyone, but also going to allow them to clear out these angles. Doesn't see anyone, which means Miami's pretty clear to go up there. Favorite Liar's going to kill on the Uilas, but Flamingo's immediately going to trade back on the B side. That's going to let Harvard know that, Favorite Liar was there. That most likely means that Miami's going to be at the other side because the Favorite Liar has been a huge lurker here. We'll see if Miami can take over the site, kind of surrounding the members of Harvard. Rysick getting one, going to spray through. Flamingo's really going to get out, but Sith Lord finishes it off. Other Harvard members are back, though, but they're able to get them down anyway. It's just going to be Salary in the back of the A site, trying to do anything, but as Cypher alone, you can't really do too much. I wonder if they're going to try to save their weapon, maybe try to get some exit frags, but it seems like Harvard's going to lose another map, and there it goes, another round down. Miami up 8-2, and Miami still has those 2 ultimates, that Brimstone ultimate and that Viper ultimate can be good. Viper especially can lock down a site for a plan, so that can be essentially a free win if Miami plays that pretty well. So Harvard's in definitely a pretty bad spot. We'll see how they try to claw their way back to hopefully get these last 2 rounds of the half for them.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what they're doing here because it looks like they're, again, going for buying more of their bigger guns, going less pistols. Flamingo staying on pistol, surprisingly. Only person now who is on pistol at this point for their loadout. And we're going to see Miami. They're going to be pushing B this time. It doesn't look like we're going to have Favorite Liar to be doing the Viper wall here on A. And it looks like they're going to kind of bring out the Waylay, get the kill there on Uilas, and being able to kind of just start going in and start taking them out. We're going to see one of Harvard's players going to be kind of hiding in the Brimstone smoke. 2 players already out. And Harvard down to 2. Miami at 3. We have our Viper, Brimstone, and Gecko. They're at their Brimstone and Cypher. And kind of hiding in the Viper's smoke there. They're going to take out the Brimstone. And, I mean, I think this... Spike is going to go off soon. They're going to see what the Cypher is going to do. Cypher kind of gets a hit on Favorite Liar in the blind. Favorite Liar is going to get ready to take the shot, but no! Cypher gets the kill in the Viper smoke. That was a lucky shot.
I know. That's really, really good play from Salary. As Cypher, when you're attacking, you don't really have too much utility. Cypher's pretty much a purely defensive agent. And just with some good aiming and maybe, just some unluckiness on the side of Miami, Salary was able to take on both players. It's going to be a huge point for Harvard, which means they have a little bit more money to go into this next round. We see a Carl buying the operator. I'm not sure if they're going to stay with that. It's going to go be the glass cannon build with no shields. But that could really take down Miami if they aren't prepared for it. Miami going to, of course, have enough to full buy all those guns, but Harvard did have enough with that win to buy an operator, which looks like they're going to stick with. Let's see if Miami can react to where the operator is going to be played, and I believe it's going to be played here on the B site. They're going to be holding long. The first person swung, if they swung it dry, might get dead. They're going to see the operator with that Sky Dog. They're going to know to be careful. But he's going to have to back out of there because Miami's applying the pressure, and even if, that sniper can one-shot, one kill, you still can't be too aggressive with that because, if you miss even one shot, that could be instant death. Sith Lord is going to try to double pack onto the site. Unfortunately, can take him out of the Salary. The operator from Akara is going to take down Pathos. Oh, Salary with another kill. Miami's already down 3. It's going to be 2-5 here on the site. Rysick's going to get one, try to get out. Oh, Rysick gets another with the Molly there. It's going to get hindered, unfortunately, by that Waylay ult, and that just leaves a Doomty left. Haza has his flash here, but it's going to be 1v3, and the Spike is going to be down on site. There's not too much they can do there, and yeah, Akara's going to take that down. But still a great for half for Miami. Going to end 8-4. It's going to leave Harvard in a really tough spot here. They're gonna be forced to attack at their hardest here and try to push through this Miami defense, which in the past has been pretty strong, especially on this map. But we'll see how that thing sort of goes.
Yeah, especially with the Viper that they're going to have. Viper's gonna be able to set up a nice wall here for Miami. Kind of going to be doing a little gamble to see which side they're going to be on. But just watching how it's going to happen, Miami, again, going to be kind of just be waiting and see, looking like they might go B and having Viper going up and doing the wall again here. But Harvard's getting ready, mostly putting most of their people on B, it looks like, having 3 on B, 2 on A. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Harvard is kind of starting to realize what Miami's plays are going to be here. But, I mean, considering that it's so late now, I don't think they're going to be able to make a lot of stuff work here.
Yeah, Miami prefer a 3-2 push, but Harvard went all B. Favorite Liar tried to peek out and get a kill, but unfortunately couldn't get anything. Pathos was able to get a pick, though, and back out. Harvard's going to be full rushing onto this B site. Is Miami going to be able to back out in time? It's going to be 2v4 on the site. Flamingo takes down Sith Lord, and Slyke takes down Pathos. Yeah, it's going to be unfortunate for Miami. Just 2 left on Miami, left on opposite sides of the site. Let's see if they can do anything. Rysek's going to be ran at by the Oreo. Gets a little turnaround. The Oreo goes behind him. And Adam's going to be left by himself, which it's going to be very, very tough for a Doom Deacon to be able to do anything here. But that was a really good push from Harvard, able to get those early picks and just push right in. Once you get those picks down, it's hard for the defense to really do anything because they're already going to be down people on that site, especially if you decide to do a 5 rush like Harvard did. Adam's going to be able to get 1, though. That's going to be a little bit better for economy, but is going to get taken down by Flamingo. Good try from Miami, but yeah, that was a really good push from Harvard. Going to bring things to 8-5. They're just trying to close that gap as much as they can during this half. Maybe this half is a little bit more lucky. Miami seemed really good on that attacker half for bind, but we'll see how things go. Miami's still going to go for a 3-2 push, 3-2 split, 3 on B, 2 on A, or might be switching that right now as I see one person walking back, Sith Lord. But yeah, what do you think about that last round?
I mean, really interesting there to see how also Harvard was able to kind of just make such a great play. Miami was trying to do some counter plays there, but just weren't able to get in there. Harvard was really covering all of their spots, making sure they covered back, covered sides, covered front. I mean, they were just able to cover every angle there. And there's going to be already early kills there. That's going to be a kill on both Harvard and Miami. The Cypher and Raze are going to be down. It looks like Harvard's going to be going A. All of them are going to be going A, and it looks like there's a kill from Miami. Uilas gets a kill on Pathos, and there's going to be another kill on Miami with Uilas also getting favored Liar. It's not going to look good here for Miami. It looks like Harvard's going to be able to get that spike down and get a nice advantage there. It looks like they're going to be sending out some stuff and trying to see where they are, but they're going to be in the Brimstone smoke. Get ready. Brimstone is taken down by Uilas again. It's down to Gecko, back down to Adam T, and it does get a kill on the on Akira, but Uilas again takes on Miami. I think Uilas had about 4 of the kills there, if not all of them.
Yeah, really. Uilas are doing really good in these past couple rounds, up to 14-11. We see a Doom Team, our team, on 16-7. Some great performances from those 2 players, but yeah, those last 2 rounds played out kind of similarly. It was end up in a 1v4. Doom Team was the last person left. It was able to get 1 kill, but unfortunately gets traded. Let's see if Miami can do anything to shake things up to make sure lock this Harvard team down. Like I said in the past, though, typically if you win the first round in Valorant, you end up buying more, spending more of that money, you have more money, and the losing team ends up trying to save so they can buy on this round, which is what Miami's doing right here, to try to even things out. So it's not too surprising that they lost this round, but Miami really needs some good strategy to make sure that, Harvard can close up this round when Miami has the better weapons, which means, Harvard's going to snowball their economy lead even further and make it even more likely that they close this gap. Seems like Miami's going to do the smart thing and back out as soon as they hear all that utility from Harvard. They're going to wait for the rest of Miami to come through and decide sort of a game plan to come back. Pathos kind of left here. Your clone did go through there. Oh, favorite Liar unfortunately goes down to Flamingo. Miami's already down a player. Let's see how they sort of regroup and try to take this back.
Ooh, Miami is able to get a kill on Harvard there. They're able to take out one of their characters. And we're going to see Pathos taking out Uilas. Uilas definitely did a lot of damage here, but I mean, Harvard definitely taking out most of Miami's players. Again, back down to Adam T, but he gets 2 kills there.
Oh, no!
But Brimstone's able to final it out for Harvard. Very close round. I have to give it hats off to Adam T. I mean, very close, very great. I mean, kind of watching how Adam T is always the last man, but always keeping up like 1 or 2 kills. I mean, they're not going out without a fight.
Yeah, Doom T's doing really good on getting his ones, getting his picks down, and yeah, that's That's really unfortunate. He was able to get 3 there in a row, which looked like turned things back to 1-1, but didn't expect the Brimstone to be coming down the other side of elbow and just shoot him in the side. It's unfortunate there. But, like I said, it's only down to 1. At one point, Harvard was down 5 rounds. Now they're just only down 1. They have to win 1 more to tie it up. And that puts a lot of pressure on Miami to make sure that they don't throw away this lead that they had coming from the first half. Things are looking really good for Miami on attack, but of course, you can't just only win attacker rounds. You need to play the other half well. And so far, Miami's been struggling a little bit on this defender half. But Harvard's been consistently doing full pushes onto this B site. Seems like it's their stronger suit. Maybe Miami will start to learn that and maybe try to play around that a little bit more. But of course, Miami doesn't have the greatest guns. But Rice is going to get a good kill on the psych. That's going to be a free rifle for them as well if they're going to go pick that up. He's probably going to get it to his teammate because he's lower health. We do have this Gecko ultimate. Let's see where this goes. If they get a stun here, this could be huge for Miami's push onto the site. They check under 2, but they don't see one. They do get Uilas down with that stun. Some trades going out there. Flamingo getting 2, Sithord also getting 2. It's going to be 3-2 up for Miami. Both another trade going out. So Miami's going to stay up. And a Doomty getting the last kill. That's going to be Miami on a save round even, getting that win, making sure Harvard stays back, says, no, we're still the better team. We still have the lead. And they're going to be able to pick up some guns as well. And that's going to help their economy huge. Great turnaround for Miami. I love to see that.
Yeah, definitely seeing where we're able to get hopefully better guns here, more rifles, being able to get just a lot better cost stuff. Being able to just be getting those better guns is going to be something great for Miami now. It looks like Harvard going back to mainly sticking to now switching it up, only having 1 pistol on Harvard's side, but Miami's going to be, again, getting those better guns now. So it's going to be a little more of a shakeup. I definitely think Miami here is going to start taking more of the games, getting able to kind of get going now that they've been able to get some rounds where they're able to get some better weapons, better weaponry. And it looks like Viper's going to set up a wall there. Miami is still getting ready, but ooh, there's a shot, and Salary gets 2 kills on Miami, taking out Sith Lord and Pathos, it looks like. So we're down to just 3 people, and Harvard's up 5. It's going to be interesting here to see, but they're able to get 1 shot on Harvard. Thankfully, neither of them were taken out, and maybe another shot. No, Willis is going to dash out of the way, and all 3 of Miami's players are going to be going up there. We're going to see some Brimstone smokes here going through. Brimstone's going to send another smoke up. We're going to be watching Pathos as they're just kind of watching the side, getting ready to send some stuff through. The Sky Hawk is going to be going through there, trying to see if they can find anything in the smoke. Not find anything. I mean, they're kind of safe right now, but they're going to be doing some shootouts, and there's Ristic getting a kill on Harvard with Flamingo. But I think that spike is going to be going off soon, so I don't think Miami's going to have much time to let it go, and I think that's going to be another point for Harvard there.
Yeah, Miami's just decided to save their guns there, which is a decent choice because they're already a little bit down on the economy. This is going to make sure that they can come back into this next round with a full buy for all their teammates. They should be able to buy their teammates who might not be able to afford it. It looks like we are going to see all rifles. All the rifles from Harvard there as well, but I don't know if any of you guys saw that on the map. Miami placed a defensive Viper wall through that teleport. It's a pretty common wall there. But there was a little sliver of the corner where Salary was able to hide behind. And as soon as that wall went down, Miami wasn't aware or even think to check that corner as it went down, and it was able to get an easy 2 kill. As Favorite Liar goes down, the Sith Lord didn't even have time to react to that kill going down. But we'll see if Miami can turn things around this map. Like I said, both teams still have guns, so it's a pretty even fight. Miami really needs to win this one to make sure that Harvard doesn't close that gap even further. Now they have one round of leeway before Harvard starts to take the lead, and Miami, let's see if they can hold it back here. But it seems like Harvard's going to go for a 1-4 split, going to try to be pushing that B side heavy now. Went a little bit slower this time, but Psych going to be using his your ult to make sure that there's no one in Miami on site. It's going to be pretty clear for them to plant it. Seems like Miami is going to be holding this elbow angle where Uilas likes to peek here. We have 2 here for Miami, hoping to get the trade. Nice! Favorite Liar getting a huge kill onto Uilas. That means Harvard's already down. The rest of Miami's coming back, and Harvard does have 1 on the other side, so it's going to be only 3 on site for Miami. If they can get this down quick. Ooh, unfortunately, that Raze ult was able to go up, but Favorite Liar getting yet another kill, keeping Miami the lead against Harvard and putting the pressure down now. They're going to be using the spike. Is it going to be a Ninja Defuse? Oh, Flamingo swings out and kills him right before he's about to defuse the spike. Miami still has to take the time on that. Favorite Liar with a 4K. Is he going to be able to get the ace? Ace from Favorite Liar! Huge stuff from Favorite Liar, getting a 5 kill and ace against Harvard as Wingman defuses the spike. That's what we love about Wingman. Left Favorite Liar open to swing out and get that ace. Huge stuff from Favorite Liar. Someone clip that in the chat. Someone clip that. Huge play from our freshman player. Favorite Liar has really been showing some great individual plays here on this map. So great stuff. And I love to see Miami continuing to win, continuing to hold back Harvard as Harvard decides to take some ground, but not all the way yet, as they still have a 2-round lead.
Yeah, also watching how Favorite Liar has been doing, especially in defense when we saw earlier, kind of also splitting up. They're able to hold their own. They're not worried about maybe hitting 2 or 3 people. They're able to take them out without much trouble, usually. I mean, there are going to be some areas where they're going to have some issues, but it looks like we're going to see some kind of going A and B at the same time, kind of both teams splitting up. It looks like Miami's going to be kind of going more B, but Harvard's going to be more A now. So, I mean, they got 3 people, and that's going to be already 2 kills with Miami. I mean, that's going to be tough for them to come back. Now we're down to, again, Favorite Liar. Favorite Liar is going to be watching that Brimstone smoke right there. And Miami's Brimstone Vistic is taken out, so it's going to be a 4v2 here. I mean, it's going to be hard to tell what's going to happen, but it looks like Adam T is able to take out some of Harvard, and it's now going to be 2-2 again, and we're going to be able to see something here. It looks like that Viper Favorite Liar was taken out, though, so it's going to be up to Adam T to kind of equalize this here with the Brimstone smoke. They're both going to be at the middle. I think the spike's going to go off, so I think Adam T is going to try to just hold on to the guns, hold on, and just get ready for the next round here.
Yeah, I'm decided to say Adupti's decided to save that gun. It was a little unfortunate from Favorite Liar. It was a 2v2, but it was able to win his one against Harvard. So Adupti just decides, you know, I'm just going to get out, save this gun. It's going to help our economy a little bit, you know. The rest of Miami is going to have to save, but hopefully Adupti on this rifle is going to be able to get some good picks to try to bring things a little bit closer. You know, even if they're down on guns, Miami, if they get an early pick, could still make things turn around. But Harvard is going to be able to full buy their guns across their entire team. But Miami, you know, like I said, if they can get like an isolated one, pick up that gun, that means Miami has 2 rifles now. So it's still a good chance for Miami, but you know they're down on the economy, down on the weapons. So Adupti not dying here is going to be great for It's going to be huge for Miami. If they can get a kill here, it's not to back off, unfortunately. But all of Harvard's going to be pushing out of that angle. Woodley's going to be flashed, still stays alive, still has a flash of his own, but Harvard is not pushed out yet. They decided to fall back a little bit. They see that Miami's 5 stacked on B. You know, the Harvard player on 5 stacked on A. The Harvard player on B is gonna eventually call for Harvard and be like, hey, there's no one on Miami on B. So it's gonna be pretty safe for them to go back there. We'll see if Miami decides, finds out that Harvard might be switching back towards the B site, as you know that full thing is clear. But also, you know, the player from Harvard on B could also just go for a flank play here on Miami. But it seems like some from Miami are gonna be sneaking back towards B, right into the crosshair of a Yoru on Harvard. Let's see if they see them. Oh no, he gets both players and backs off. That's really unfortunate for Miami. And now Miami's kind of stuck. They have someone who's behind, and they have Harvard who now sees now it's a good opportunity to re-hit on that A site and get that free plant down. And Miami's already down 2 players because of that huge flank from Yoru. And Miami's being pinched on all sides. We see Syke still pushing, still slowly walking. Miami doesn't know where he is. Did he TP back? Is he still there? They gotta be careful about that flank there too.
And there's more kills with Syke. I mean, Syke is just able to take them out, and we're down to Vistic, and Vistic is down. We did get 1 kill on Harvard, which didn't make it a full swipe, but it's 10-10 now. It's definitely getting into an area where it's going to be very close. I mean, Harvard has definitely been doing great with the attacker side. Miami was out to a great start at the beginning, having a 4-8 lead at the switch, but I mean, Harvard was definitely able to just close that gap real quick here. But also kind of looking at the kills on screen, I mean, Harvard's are a lot more closer together. Most of them are, I think their highest and lowest are maybe about 5 apart, whereas Miami's are a lot farther apart. But also Miami has been moving off to the side and backing up when they know, hey, I can't disarm the spike, kind of saving the guns, kind of trying to do some smarter plays there. But it looks like we're going to see the an ult there, and they're going to get ready to shoot, but they get the kill. Pathos gets the kill on Syke there. That's a great play. Just kind of watching what's going to happen, but it looks like Harvard's going to be setting some stuff up here. I mean, all the ultimates are going to be coming out. Harvard's going to be down 2. It's going to be 3-3. Now it's going to be 3-2. Miami's up 1 player. They're going to be seeing what's going to happen here. They're going to need to try to defuse Spike here soon. That Brimstone smoke is going to be kind of giving them a little bit of cover, but that Spike is in just such an open area that it's going to be hard. It looks like our Gecko is going to try to disarm, but they're going to be taken out in the crossfire. They're down to one player, though. We're going to need to disarm the Spike here soon, or else it's not going to work. And it looks like our Brimstone player is going to try to do it, but it's get the kill
Does
first.
he have time?
Does he have time? I don't think he has time. He's going to run away. Oh, heartbreaking. If they just had a little more time, they would have been able to get that disarm. But, I mean, Harvard was just able to get so much pressure put on there that they couldn't do anything there.
Yeah, that was a really important round for both teams to win. I was going to mention it. It was kind of alt-up o'clock. There were so many ults going on. I think that was 6 ults being played on that site there. And, you know, that was a really important round for either team to win. It helps both teams are equal economy. Now Harvard has the round lead and has a better economy. Miami's really in a pressured spot here. They're going to have to full buy as much as they can, try to get as much wins as they can. They're going to try to play some Viper ult here on the B long site. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the Harvard. If they push into there, they're going to be right into Favorite Liar's crosshair. So let's see what happens if Harvard decides to still push through this. But, you know, Harvard finally has the lead from Miami. How's Miami going to respond to this? Are they going to be able to take the lead back from Harvard? We'll see. Favorite Liar gets flashed in their own smoke, but Pathos is still sitting there. That ult does go down. Is he going to be able to get one? He's going to get one. He's going to get 3 kills! 3 kills from Pathos. That's huge for Miami with that stinger. Great stuff. They all just lined up in that crosshair with one stinger clip, gets 3 kills. That's huge for Miami. Harvard's only down to 1 player now. Miami, with that one Viper ult and that great placement from Sky, just completely shuts down Harvard's push here. But as we've seen in the past, Salary did make a 2v1 clutch as well when a Viper ult was played on this site. Let's see if Salary can get anything done here. But I don't think that they have the spike. The spike's right here, so it's going to be Salary just have to win some very lucky ones here. But Miami is in a very advantageous position. They know where Salary is. They see that the cage is being played, and there we go. Spraying through the smoke. Great stuff from Miami. Huge, impactful 3K from Pathos on that long side. And now it's back to even. Now Miami has enough money for guns. Harvard still has enough money for guns. We're basically in the same exact situation as 2 rounds ago. Both teams are tied up. Both teams have the economy. Harvard, though, does have a little bit of an ult advantage. Sith Lord is only 1 away from the Raze ultimate, so they could go for an ult orb or a kill to try to get the ultimate placed down. But, you know, Harvard is up on the ultimate, so things are a little bit more advantageous in their situation. They do have a stinger on their side, though. It's going to be a really important round for either team to win because whoever wins this only has to win 1 more, and then the whole map is theirs. Very close game so far, though. It's been very entertaining to watch. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and it looks like Miami's going to be having 3 people on B. Harvard's going to do a full push on B with their Cypher staying back. So not a full push, sorry. 4 players going pushing B. Their Cypher is going to be kind of watching A, getting ready to see what's going to happen. They're kind of waiting for that Viper wall to go down. But they're going to be kind of peeking out, getting ready to watch what's happening. And there's a shot, and both Miami and Harvard are down to 4 players now. We have Miami has 1 player on A side, and there is the Cypher going A side. They're going to see what's going to happen here because it looks like they're going to be having a little standoff over in A side, whereas all the rest of the 3 are going to be kind of having some standoffs in A. Miami is able to hold A side. Favorite Lyra kind of having a nice angle here on their Viper wall. Sith Lord is going to be kind of watching here. It looks like they're going to try to do some ultimate there and send something out. Harvard's going to do a push here. Harvard gets down to 3 people. It's going to be interesting. Now we have Ristic kind of setting up some Brimstone smokes. I'm going to try to send some stuff out. Harvard still trying to stay all together. Spike is not down yet, or Spike is down. Sorry, and they're going to be kind of watching what's going to happen. Harvard is able to get the middle there on A. Miami's going to need to take over A again, try to either disarm Spike, take out the entire team. They're kind of just watching what's going to happen, and it looks like Sith Lord's going to be doing some Rockets stuff, but gets shot, and it looks like it's back 3-2, but now one of Harvard's players gets taken out. It's down to kind of Favorite Liar and all of them. Miami has to get a defuse here. It looks like Adam P is going to get a defuse, but Brimstone's behind and takes them out. Adam P is still there, and it looks like Adam P is going to get the defuse just in time, and Miami is 1 point away from winning now. Now, it's still Adam T definitely kind of lucky there that they weren't shot in the crossfire. That Brimstone just was able to kind of go through and have their way, but that angle that Adam T was at kind of just made it so they were able to kind of dodge it without really moving and taking it out. But having Favorite Liar kind of being like, oh, I hear them behind me. turning around, taking some shots on Brimstone, definitely kind of finalized the game there.
Yeah, it was a really, really great kill from Favorite Liar, making sure that Miami didn't caught too off guard. That could have been very, very bad. But it seems like Harvard is a little bit confused on where they want to go. Seems like they're going to go finalize for mostly A push. Miami is going to be sending one back to A, so it's going to be 3 on A side for this push here. Though Harvard, again, up 2 alts. They're down a little bit. They're down a little bit more on the weaponry. They have to win this round if they want a chance of an overtime victory, but Miami just has to win one more round, and the entire map is theirs. We'll see how this lead goes. Brimstone Smoke's going down for Miami as they notice that Harvard is mostly there. Still one lurking up that Yoru from Harvard onto the B site. Gonna try to figure out, is anyone Miami actually there, or is this Viper Wall just kind of a trick here? We'll see what happens on that side of the map, but for right now, Harvard is kind of in a standoff with Miami on this A site. Is who's going to end up pushing first? Harvard, of course, has to plant that bomb, has to get those kills to try to win this match, and the timer is just continuing to tick. 50 seconds left in this round, and they have to decide to do something here. Harvard is still just hanging back on the A site, maybe waiting to see if Psych gets any info about if the B side is open for them to rotate to, but it seems like there's no confrontation yet from either team. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely think Miami's going to try to pick a slower route here because they're able to kind of run down the clock. It's going to be 30 seconds now. Harvard's definitely going to need to do something here to kind of take something out. And there goes the first kill of the round. Psych gets killed by Pathos, but then Sith Lord is taken out by the Cypher. It's going to be kind of just one of those back and forths there, but Harvard's down to 3 people. Spike is down now, so Miami's going to need to do something here. And it looks like Ristic is taken out by Flamigo. And it looks like we have Sky's Tasmanian Tiger going out, but wasn't able to kind of see where they see where they are. But Harvard's down to 1 player, but that Spike is going to go off soon. They have to defuse it, and they get the kill, and are they going to defuse it in time? It looks like they're going to defuse it, and Miami gets the map.
Great map win for Miami. Hopefully, we are going to go to map 2 here. Hopefully we can see the scoreboard on the screen here real quick from the game. Well, I just want to highlight both Adumti and Favorite Liar's performance here. Great stuff. Adumti with the more kills, but Favorite Liar with the higher average comment score. Because look, 6 first bloods, insane stuff. Those lurks at the beginning of the round, getting those first picks are hugely impactful for Miami to end up winning this round. Very, very close match. Obviously, that defender side was a little bit more rough from the side of Miami, but they were still able to close it out and not bring it over to an overtime for Harvard. And just great stuff there. Also, Uilas on the side of Harvard also had a great performance there. Got a lot of those first picks, and we did see Salary with that insane clutch on that defender side for them, which made it even possible for them to try to get a comeback on the next map.
Yeah, also watching Sith Lord there, having the same amount of kills as both Salary and Uilas. Nothing to scoff at. I mean, we definitely weren't able to see as many great plays from them, but they were able to kind of just keep on taking some of those shots, getting some of those good angles. They were killed a lot of times, sadly, but I mean, definitely watching how Miami's players, I mean, out of the top 5, they're 3 out of the 305. Definitely going to be some of the better things to look at. Pathos definitely going to be looking like one of those defensive, like helping players, kind of just sending out some of those different abilities that Sky has with the Hawk or the Tiger, kind of being more of a information man instead of kind of like the duelist or initiators or controllers like we see with like Favorite Liar and whatnot.
Yeah, and I just really want to congratulate Miami on this great first map against Harvard. They really played that well, especially that first half was really just great stuff from Miami. Great, it was just insane attack performance from Miami. Ended up cleaning out 8-4 after an unlucky clutch like we mentioned from Salary there. But great stuff on the first side of the map. After that, Harvard started to come back, started picking at Miami's weaknesses a little bit more onto their side of the attacker half. Did a little bit better, but of course Miami was able to bring that a little closer here and not let that happen for them. But I'm excited to see how this next map goes. I think the players are going to take a little bit of a break here. But I wonder if there's going to be any sort of shakeups in, the comp that we might see. Is Williams going to stay on that Waylay, that new character that Miami might not be as familiar with, or are they going to go something else? And what kind of maps are we going to see? Because Miami did win this map, I think Harvard does end up getting the next map pick after some of the ban phase goes through. Mm-hmm. So are we going to go to a map like Icebox? Are we going to a map like Lotus, which Miami's a little bit more comfortable with? Or are we going to go to back to some of the tried and true maps like Ascent or like similar to Bind that we were just on? But it seems like our players here are going to take 5 for a little bit. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with map 2 of Miami versus Harvard CVC. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Hi, and welcome back to Miami versus Harvard CVC Map 2. It seems like we're getting right into Haven here. Players were itching to go. Caught us a little bit off guard, but Uilas, is there an I there? I can't really tell. But already locking in the waylay. Saw pretty good success there on the last map on that waylay, performing the best out of his team. So it makes sense that he's going to go back there. And you know that waylay recall utility was pretty good on the last map. So I like to see that there. Seems like Miami, as most of their comp locked in, seems like they're going to go for a double initiator. Going to decide to put favorite liar onto a Cypher this time instead of a Viper. I don't think Viper's as good on this map, but we do see the Breach coming out from a Doomty. Breach is definitely pretty good on this map with the long sight lines and the 3 sides. That stun and that ultimate can be used in some really, really great ways for Miami. So I like to see a Doomty playing on those initiator roles, being more of a team player. And you know, the IGL being on the initiator role, the initiator players typically just decide how fights start and different stuff, and they can give calls to their team. So I like to see that. And we do see the Neon from Sith Lord is going to be a little bit more aggressive, a little faster than the Rays that they were playing in the last map. So we'll see how that sort of change goes. And both teams hovering the Omen. Of course, Omen is one of the best controllers in the game. So it's not super surprising to see that come out here. Harvard still hovering their picks. I'm not quite sure yet. Salary back on that Cypher. Salary was doing some great stuff on that Cypher last map. And we do see a Phoenix come out from Macaro. I'm going to switch off of that Brimstone onto the Phoenix. And I know this is one of the few maps that, like I said, I haven't been super involved with the meta recently, but I know Phoenix, this is one of Phoenix's better maps. Using those flashes that can go around corners can be really, really strong. So let's see how this goes for Miami. Miami going to start on the defender half this time. I do believe Haven is it's a 3-site map. It's a little bit more attacker sided, but with the Haven side, personally, I prefer to start on defense as well. But we'll see how this ends up going. Harvard is going to be going for mostly a C push here this time. I find a lot of people like to start on the A site on this map, but it seems like Harvard's going to go for a split. They're going to send that Cypher going to be lurking onto the A sites right into Pathos, and the rest of the team's going to go to the C. But how do you think this round is going to go?
I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting because also seeing that Sova, who is going to be both of them having Sovas, I mean, those arrows are going to be doing some so good here, especially because of the 3 sites. I mean, they're going to be able to find where most of the teams are. They're going to be, hey, there's maybe one person on A side or there's one person on C. I mean, that's mainly what Miami's going to do. They're going to be mainly putting all of them in B. Then when they're in B, they can move over. But, I mean, they're going to see, hey, favorite liar is going to be like, hey, there's going to be all of them over here. Ooh. And they're going to be taking a bunch out, and it's already 2-2 again. And we're going to see our Miami Sova kind of just going to try to come back over the C while our Brimstone is going to keep it, or sorry, not Brimstone, but our Breach is going to keep it up. But Harvard gets the first kill on there and is able to plant the spike. But considering they only have one player, definitely looking better for Miami, especially because, like you said, this is more of a map that is mainly sided for attackers. I mean, you have 3 sides. Defenders are going to need to kind of spread the resources a little more thin there. But we're going to see Harvard kind of start taking out with more of their rifles, more of their bigger guns. Miami is still going to be mainly sticking to the regular pistols that they have. But we're going to see, again, same thing, Pathos watching the A side, and we're going to see Favorite Liar kind of watching C side. It looks like Harvard might be doing a little push on A here and getting ready for that, but Harvard's kind of just staying back, seeing what's going to happen, maybe waiting for Miami to kind of be like, oh, where are they, and pushing forward, seeing if they can get some luck there. But they're going to also kind of, all of Miami is going to be going A, and it looks like Harvard's going to start going up for B, but 3 of them are currently on the C side of the map, so they're going to be able to start going C there. So 2 people on Harvard's side are kind of going to be baiting everyone out for Miami to stay mainly on the A and B. We are going to see Favorite Liar here kind of going C, and they're going to be like, hey, guys, there's people on C. And we're going to see all of Miami starting to shift over to C and being like, and getting ready for these big attacks here. But it looks like Flamingo is going to set the spike down. So Harvard is able to capitalize off this. So Miami's going to need to do something here to make sure that they're going to get some points. And it looks like Phoenix is going to set up a wall there. Harvard down 2 people there in the crossfire. Sith Lord and a Doomty getting some kills there. And Miami's able to take it back, but it looks like they're able to take 2 people out on Miami's side, but they're able to get the final kill on their Cypher, and it looks like we're going to be able to get a 1-1 tie here. Great for this map, especially, like you said, attacker heavy, so every defense that we can get is going to look good. And it looks like Miami's already going to start getting out more of their better weapons. Harvard still looking mainly like they're going to be on pistols. Akuro going to be the only one kind of upgrading their gun, or sorry, and Salary also maybe upgrading here.
Yeah, and that was a great round for Miami. They were able to Favorite Liar used that Phoenix wall to get a little bit closer in, and some really good first picks from Miami that came unanswered from Harvard. So a lot of them close out the map pretty easily here. But it seems like Harvard is going to be a little bit more split towards mid. Are they going to go towards the garage and right into that cyber chip? More towards B, towards a Doomty, and Sith Lord seems like going to go towards B. A Doomty going to be flashed, but Sith Lord getting 2 anyway. Woo. Huge kills there. Psych going to finally get the trade, but Miami is still up 1 player. A Doomty sprang through, able to get down. Psych as well. Harvard's just down to 2 players. They're on the site with the bomb. A Doomty gets down Uilas, and there's just going to be Salary on the other side of the smoke in mid. Unable to do much with this Sheriff. Is maybe going to get 1. No, not even able to get 1. Favorite Liar from behind, able to take down Salary. Another great defensive round for Miami, making up those rounds. Going to be able to keep their guns into the next round, leading Harvard in a bit of a worse spot here. Going to have a little bit more economy from the last round, as most of them were saving, so more of them can buy some rifles. Salary already has their ultimate, which is going to help them potentially decide which map to go to. They can get an early pick, which side to go to, because Sephiroth will reveal everyone else's locations on the minimap for a second. But it seems like they're split between A and C. We'll see what kind of info they can find. Miami seems like they might be going for an aggressive first peek here on the A site and being a little bit more passive on B or C. We'll see how this first round decides to go. Oh, it looks like Adumti has called for a tech pause here. Something's wrong on the side of Miami. Looks like we're going to be going. The players are going to be taking a little bit. The players are going to be going into a little bit of a break. But yeah, it's been a really good first couple rounds for Miami. That first initial pistol round was a little bit tough, but Miami was able to take that loss and build it towards another eventual nice win for the next round. When Miami, realistically had not as great guns, so that was a really good round for them to win. And it seems like we're already going right back to game. Short little tech pause, thankfully, and this round's about to get started right now.
And here we go. And also going back to that last round, Sith Lord kind of having that kind of heroic sacrificial play where they're able to get 2 shots in there. Definitely kind of finalized what was going to happen there, because with all of those smokes and all of those different abilities going off, I mean, just being able to have that. But it looks like Sith Lord's going to go down real quick, but Pathos is able to get that kill right off the bat. Salary also able to get that kill on Pathos. I mean, kind of just having the 1-2-1-2. I mean, just being able to make sure everybody's doing that. But it looks like we're going to see hear an ult going off here. And we're going to have Miami having 4 players, or sorry, Miami having 3 players, Harvard having 2 players. Nice smoke here. Good for Adumti to get up. Harvard is going to go down to 2 players. Miami also going to go down to 2. Miami going to go down to 1, and it looks like Favorite Lighter gets taken out by Energy Uilas, and being able to have the attackers, Harvard, being able to get the point there, making it 2-2. Definitely going to be very close here. Now, I definitely think that when Miami is going to be able to switch sides to attackers, they're probably going to be able to hopefully take this more by storm. But watching how Harvard's playing, I mean, Miami is definitely reading it to the best of their abilities and also making great plays, but not being worried about, hey, this person has this person has that. I'm not going to try to go in there if I can't get the gun. Like seeing, again, how Sith Lord was able to get those 2 kills there. It's going to be interesting. But Harvard kind of staying back. Miami's going to be more on the B and C side, keeping 1 person on A, looking like they're keeping their Sova on A again. Harvard looking maybe going B or A here. So we're going to need to have Miami moving their C people over. It looks like Harvard's also keeping 1 person off and making sure that they're going to be kind of baiting them out. But again, Miami all at C now, really, besides their Sova. So now we see Harvard's going all A. Miami's going to be rushing over to A as quick as possible, going through B. They're going to be sending most through B, sending 1 back around by their spawn, sending it back up. Miami's able to get 1 kill on Harvard there. Great play. Harvard, one of their men is going to go back and kind of regroup, it looks like, and get ready. Kind of going back up through the B route and being ready to see what's going to happen there. They're going to try to kind of go, and it looks like Favorite Liar is going to try to see through some of those smokes, take some shots. Favorite Liar at a pretty advantageous vantage right now. But there goes it 2T. On Miami's side, it's going to be 3-3. The spike is planted, so Miami has to do something here if they're going to get it. And it looks like the spike's going to go off unless they can get some kills here. And 1 Harvard player left. They got to make sure that gets defused. And it looks like Harvard gets it.
I'm not sure what happened there. I thought, maybe there was probably shock darts on the bomb that I didn't see, but yeah, Miami, unfortunately, it was already half, but unable to fully get that spike down. So, another win for Harvard's side. It's going to leave Miami a little bit in a more disadvantageous scenario in terms of economy. Going to be able to buy some rifles, but, Harvard, not worried about money too much. They're going to be able to full buy the rifles, and they have 2 ultimates. But 3 ultimates on the side of Miami. They're definitely in a spot to turn this back around and bring this back to a tie. But we got to see how Miami decides to lock these sites down. Seems like they're going to go for a full A push on the side of Harvard. Is Pathos going to be able to read that and fall back before they get fully traded here? Good shock dart there. Going to go out. It's going to seem like Pathos is going to just back out there after getting that information. And Harvard's going to still go for a full 5 push here. onto this A site. We'll see how fast Miami can rotate and try to combat this. Sith Lord is here as well, backing up Pathos if Harvard decides to go into Doomty with a great early first kill. Pathos getting another kill here. Harvard's already down 2 and they're on the site. 3, down 3, down 4. Now it's just Salary back behind the smoke alone as Miami was able to full rotate back and fully stop the push from Harvard. Let's see Miami just going to run out and try to kill them here. Ooh, Favorite Liar got spotted out, but Salary able to kill them. Gets 2, gets 2, gets 3, but at Doomty able to take one down anyway. Thankfully, Miami didn't fully choke that round there, but Salary still getting 3 kills is still not great, so that means guns lost for Miami. We'll still see if they're able to buy fully. It seems like they're still good on that front, but, you know, those kills also help Salary get some more economy as well. But Miami seems in their good, still like in a good spot. 4 ultimates for Miami, 3 ultimates for Harvard. Things are back to a tie. Miami is back into the economy advantage and the ultimate advantage. So this next round should be as good as theirs, but of course, they got to make sure that they actually fully defend this Harvard push, which seems like they're going to be back a little bit more passive. Might not actually go full A, might send some lurking onto the C site for that Cypher.
Yeah, just watching how it's going to be, especially too, where they have one person kind of watching C, kind of holding that person down. And it looks like they might be going B here, kind of going up through the middle. But Miami's already going to start with some countermeasures. It looks like Pathos and Sith Lord are going to be kind of taking some shots off, getting some... making sure that nothing's going to be revealed. And it looks like Harvard's kind of just doing a kind of wide push. Looks like maybe going C, but it looks like Salary is able to take out Risk It, but Favorite Liar is able to take out Psych. So keeping that 4-4, but it looks like they're going to be trying to plant some stuff on C side here. Kind of all focusing there. Spike has been planted on C, it looks like. So Miami's definitely going to be watching here. And here we have Favorite Liar kind of watching, but Favorite Liar gets taken out by Akuro, who's on Phoenix. I mean, it's definitely looking bad for Miami having a 4-1, and there we go. There's Harvard with that almost clean sweep, having only one of their players taken out. Miami definitely going to be looking worse here for their loadouts in their buy phase.
Yeah, Miami unfortunately going to be forced onto some weaker guns, maybe just a pistol for some of the people on the side of Miami. Harvard, though, has an insane amount of money. One person has almost 5,000 credits on the side of Harvard. They did have to use 2 ultimates there to win that round. Miami hasn't used any ults so far, though, for many of their players. So let's see if any of those come out to help them win this round. But, you know, Miami really can't let Harvard get too far ahead here. You know, like you said, it's attacker-sided, so it's not too bad of a thing, but obviously you still want to keep it as close as you can and win as many rounds as you can when it becomes your turn to finally take the attack here. But Rysik is going to be out, but Psych with that shotgun is just going to be able to instantly take down Rysik. A little bit of omen-on-omen crime there, right there. Pathos taking down Uilas, though, as well. Back to 4-4. We do see that multiple ults coming out from Miami, just Miami deciding to use some other ultimates there. Neon ults coming out, Breach ult also coming out. There's going to be a little bit of trade there with Favorite Liar and Akaro. Sith Lord able to take down another player. And that is me. Pathos also taken down by Salary, but Sith Lord, another kill. 2 kills right there, able to finalize that to win for Miami using 2 ultimates there. Brings the ultimate economy back to pretty much even, as Miami has 3 ults and Harvard has 2 ults. But there was 2 good ults to win to finally secure that round. Miami should have the money to buy this round as well. Harvard's going to be hurting a little bit more, but should be okay. And Miami has the ultimate advantage as well. Let's see how these players can sort of hold down the sites and defend. Miami's going to send 3 to A, and Harvard seems like they're going to be trying to go back towards the A side as well. So let's see if they can do a face-off defense or if they're going to decide to hold back and win for the rest of Miami. But I want to point out Salary's performance here. 14 kills, 5 deaths. By far the best performing player on Harvard so far. Really showing up in this past couple rounds. So great stuff to Salary, but let's see if Harvard can at this push go out. Rysik again, the last person on B site, and seems like Harvard's going to try to push back into this site as well.
And there goes the Waylay, and they're going to be kind of trying to get out of the Ristic smoke there from the Omen. And it looks like Miami's going to be down 1 person, but Harvard's down 2 now with a great smoke by Ristic. Ristic's able to get a shot off and then be able to kill them there. And it looks like they're going to be Omens in the smoke, but there's Sova on Harvard's team. Favorite Liar gets taken out by the Sova. Kind of going to be looking here. Omen's going to set up a smoke and kind of just going to be blocking the way for their Sova to watch what's going to happen. Flamingo, who we have seen being able to kind of come back out of the sticky situations, going to kind of flank there, get ready to try to attack Mystic. Mystic is down, making it a 1-1. Both Sovas, surprisingly. Flamingo is going to be sending in a drone, but then There's Pathos. Is Pathos going to get the kill?
no.
It looks like we have Flamingo who's able to just beat out Pathos there. I mean, incredibly close, incredibly close. I think that if Pathos was just able to kind of take more advantage there and be a little quicker, they would have gotten the kill. But I mean, it's going to be what it is.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate for Pathos. Maybe if he swung a little bit earlier, because when you're in the Sova drone, you can't shoot your gun, so he doesn't have time to pull out the gun back out. But Flamingo, unfortunately, had the right timing to pull back out that Odin, just kind of spray down Pathos. So that's an unfortunate loss for Miami here. It seems like Harvard's going to go for a more of a C push. We just have Favorite Liar here on the site. He's going to have to back off as Harvard's going to be full pushing on the site. He's going to pretty much have a free site to plant. Let's see if Favorite Liar can back out here and wait for the rest of his team to go through. But it seems like some players on Miami are going to be pushing down A. Salary taking down Sith Lord, who was lurking on the A site. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to contest that any further. Miami maybe wants to go for a flank push, try to find Salary and take him down. Favorite Liar finally takes him down. That's going to be a free gun for Miami as well, bring things back to even. But of course, Harvard already has the bomb down and already knows where Miami is. So it's going to be definitely harder for Miami to push through here. But let's see if they're able to get anything done.
Yeah, and Miami going for C-side now, especially after that they're kind of all on the side. Kind of going for like a little flanking maneuver here where they're going to try to go through the two left entrances of C-side, but it looks like one of them gets taken out. And I mean, thankfully we have two of them down. Ristic's going to try to defuse here. Hopefully it sets up a great smoke for them. Their Phoenix is going to be taken out. Hopefully Miami is able to get the they're able to get that defuse there. So I mean, it's going to be looking good.
Good hold for Miami. I heard some of the players in the back laugh after Pathos died there. But brings things up to 5-5. I know a certain chatter is going to be happy that Pathos did get a 3K there. But great stuff there. Miami going to be able to bring this back to a tie, not letting Harvard keep the advantage for too long. It'd be really great for Miami if they're able to bring this out to at least a tie out of this next half. 2 more rounds here for Miami to defend here. Let's see if Salary's insane performance is going to help bring Harvard to a 7-5 lead, or if Miami's more well-rounded performance is going to help them keep hold on to this tie part here. But it seems like Harvard's going to go back for their C push. Favorite Liar is going to be forced out of their spawn. Uilas is going to go fast, dash in the back of the site. We're going to see the Omen's TP onto the site as well, using that ultimate. A lot of Harvard util already used just to take that site. They do have the bomb down very quickly, but Miami has been able to back out, not lose any players. Salary on that flank, going to try to go through Garage. Let's see if he can get anything here. It's like also going through Garage. Let's see if Rysic's able to poke them out here. Gets hit by the tripwire, and Rysic able to take him down. They were taking down Uilas. A trade from Flamingo, but Rysic able to take down Salary. Back-to-back trades. Harvard is already down to only 2 players left. And that's just that. Rysic able to get 3 kills in Garage there. Great performance from Miami. Bringing things to 6-5. Guaranteed tie into this half. Will Harvard be able to keep it a tie, or will they give Miami the advantage and allow them to maybe snowball their lead into a win into the next half? We'll have to see. But again, great stuff from Miami. 2 ultimates on the side of Miami as well is going to help them hopefully win out this next round as well.
Yeah, and also watching how Miami is going to be playing here. I mean, looking at some of those plays, Favorite Liar having the most kills on Miami, but also most deaths there. I mean, they're definitely going to be playing more aggressive. Salary, again, having the 17 kills and 8 deaths. Incredible for Harvard. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where this goes. Miami's going to be going kind of back to that tried and true, but having 2 people on A this time, it looks like Harvard's going to be rushing C again. So we're going to be seeing, actually not 2 people, 3 people on A. So they're going to be sending all of them back to C, getting ready for that push that Harvard's going to be working on. But again, Favorite Liar is staying on C. We know that Favorite Liar can hold their own. So having Favorite Liar being what they think is going to happen is definitely going to be something good there. But it's already going to be 3-3, and Miami's going to be taking some hide.
Oh
Favorite
my God!
Liar gets 3
oh my
kills.
God! Insane positioning from Favorite Liar, just able to go get the one. Great headshots from Favorite Liar, bringing this out to a 7-5 half for Miami. And things are looking a little bit scary. We got Psych TPing on the side, able to get 2 kills. But Favorite Liar was in the right spot, the right time, wasn't checked, gets the 3K, and great support from Pathos as well, and the rest of members of Miami. Great stuff there. I love to see Pathos definitely improving on the performance from the last map. And we love to see how these different members of Miami can all hold their own in these different situations. I love to see how this team has been growing, even throughout this set, let alone the entire season. Great stuff from Miami. But let's see how the first pistol round goes. On attack for Miami. Going to go for the 5-man C push that I believe Harvard also tried on the first round as well. Favorite Liar might follow in Salary's footsteps and do a bit of a garage lurk, try to get an early peek here. But seems like Akaro on Harvard is ready to flash out, maybe catch Favorite Liar off guard. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it looks like most of Harvard's going to be going B, going to just be going very aggressive towards Favorite Liar. But Miami's going to already take C pretty well, and they're going to be able to set something up here. And it looks like Harvard's Phoenix is going to get ready there. But Miami's down to down to 0 players. They were able to get a great flank there on Harvard's side. And, I mean, just setting that up, I mean, just making sure Sith Lord, sorry, not Sith Lord, but Favorite Liar was just kind of had the back up, being ready to kind of flank there. That might be what Harvard's going to try to do, is going to be and then kind of going back up and around to either the A and the C site, kind of seeing where they're going to be there. But, I mean, it's going to be very, very quick push from Harvard there in response to what Miami was doing. But Miami is still up by 1. Take, so we'll see what happens here, and it looks like Harvard's going to just spread out across the board. Mainly going to be having 2 people, 1 person at C, 1 person at A, 1 person at B, and then 2 people kind of in that alley between C and B. But kind of just going to be following there. Miami's going to be looking like they're going to push A. They're going to be setting up some smokes. Sith Lord's going to be going in and being ready to try to take some shots there. Sith Lord is taken out, though. Miami is kind of dropping like flies. They're 2 and 3 with Harvard. They're shooting blind in all of these smokes. Omens are going crazy, and we're down to just randomly in the breach, and it looks like they're able to get the Harvard's able to get the point there. Harvard is just having such an offensive defense here that they're able to kind of just, hey, we're not going to go slow now. We're going to go out. We're going to be guns blazing. We're going to be ready to take these sites.
Yeah, Salary still racking up the kills, but Psych there had that judge on the site, was able to get a 4K. You know, when you have a pretty much automatic shotgun against just pistols, there's not too much that Miami can do there. But Harvard was able to bring this back to a tie. But again, Miami is going to have the gun advantage going to this because, you know, they did lose the first 2, so they did end up saving enough to have a full bar round for this round. Let's see if they can, if those guns can help improve their attack even more, or if Harvard's going to continue their 2-round win streak with another win. Well, let's see how things happen here. Something Miami's going to be mostly pushing down Garage. Oh, it's a little bit more of a volatile spot for Harvard, and we're going to see Favorite Liar just push up main, also providing that other side of the pressure, but already getting a kill onto Uilas on the site. Miami pushing out with that wall there. Pathos staying off Flamingo, though, taking down the Sova duel that he unfortunately lost last half, getting some revenge there. But Akaro getting the trade on the Pathos and a kill on the Sith Lord. But Doomty getting a kill on the Psych, and Rysik a kill onto Akaro, keeping things back in the lead for Miami, not letting Harvard take down 20 members of Miami. It's just going to be Salary alone in Garage. But we did see Salary's performance has been pretty amazing, but apparently not amazing enough. Is going to be taken on by Favorite Liar. Another same character duel there, and Favorite Liar saying, "Nuh-uh, you're not going to kill me today." Great stuff for Miami, able to use their gun advantage to their advantage and take another round, taking the lead back from Harvard. And it's interesting to see how Harvard will respond to this as Miami takes back the lead, and if Miami will able to keep this momentum going into this next round.
And Miami's kind of also looking a lot better on their creds here, mainly staying pretty healthy. The only one who's not looking great is Pathos. But, I mean, looking at Harvard, I mean, they're all much lower. Uilas had the most. They just spent most of it for all the shields and weaponry there. But, I mean, Miami's definitely going to have a little bit more of an edge when it comes to that. And it looks like they're already going to be in some firefights with some of the shots. The Omen screens are going to be kind of doing some good here. It looks like Sith Lord is going to try to go in, but gets shot in the smoke. I mean, that's kind of just unlucky at this point. But, I mean, Miami's down to 2. Harvard's at 4. Miami definitely has to do something interesting here to come back from this. But it looks like they're able to get, or Harvard's able to get just a little edge out and great smoke placement for them so that they're able to have their Psych be able to kind of get a kill, double kill there.
Yeah, Psych loves to use that shotgun on the A site there. He was able to get another 3K. The last time they had that shotgun, Miami went A, was able to get a 4K. So it's definitely something Miami has to worry about if they decided to keep going to that site. Psych is in the side, you know what, the shotgun's been working, I'm going to buy it again. They just say that they have to stay at the A site. Miami's going to go back for a C long push. Harvard has brought this back to a tie. We do have 1 ult from Miami, 2 ults from Harvard early on this fight. Both Omen ults aren't going to be super duper useful, but it could definitely help out if you know the Spike's in that disadvantageous position. But let's see how things go. Miami's gonna be pushing up, but the util from Harvard's already coming out. Harvard's already pretty much full rotated to the C side, but seems like they're gonna give Miami the site for now. They're gonna decide to go for to try to retake the site after Miami's planted the bomb. Miami's gonna plant the bomb. Now all I have to do is hold. Smith has been found out though with that recon dart. And unfortunately, Smith gets taken by Salary through the smoke. But Rysek takes down Salary, and Favorite Liar takes down Akaro's Phoenix ultimate. Not fully dead yet. Gets another life. Takes down Favorite Liar, but gets traded. Flamingo does take down Rysek. It's gonna be 2-3 for Miami. But a Doomty getting a kill. Importantly, getting that breach ult online is going to be able to use that ult to try to keep things down, and is going to immediately pop that ult to try to force put pressure onto Harvard, making sure they can't get back on the site. But Doomty unfortunately gets taken down. That ult is off onto the Sova, but taking him down. But oh no, Psych from behind, who first took down the Doomty, is going to be able to take down Pathos, and going to be defused that spike in time. Unfortunate for Miami, but that was really well played from Harvard. They were able to get some early picks and keep that advantage on their side of the map. Even though that breach ult would have been huge for Miami, unfortunately it didn't do too much for them. And we'll see how this next round goes.
Yeah, and just kind of watching how Miami was playing there. I mean, it's definitely kind of watching how they're taking the side, and Harvard's kind of giving them the time. I mean, that's definitely kind of what you want to do in the defender and in these positions, where you're like, hey, they're already all there. They're going to be able to plant the spike. We're going to need to just be able to regroup. We can't just go in there and just start sending people out. We're going to need to kind of think through what's going to happen here. And Harvard was able to kind of think and be like, hey, we're going to need to kind of have a counter push and be able to kind of maybe have some people loop back around. But it looks like Miami's going to mainly go for an A side here. Kind of messing some of the people up. There's going to be one Harvard who's going to be staying over at C side, but they're going to start making their way over. Now that Harvard is now down, but Miami's down to one person. Oh, this is
wow. I'm just dumbfounded by that. Psych was sitting in the smoke, caught 3 out for Miami, was able to kill one, and Miami wasn't really sure where he was. Still in the back of that smoke, just sitting there crouched with that weapon, able to get another pick up a gun and get a 3rd kill. Psych with those Omen lurks is going to be it's just having insane value. Miami going with that timeout, but I will say, Psych is looking like prime Shikari, someone from our club that used to play those over and lurks on lock. I see you in chat. But anyway, we do have Miami with that timeout. I think this is a really good time to timeout. You're down 2 rounds after coming out of that first half with the advantage. This attacker half might be a little bit harder than you anticipated to go for onto this map. So hopefully Miami can try to piece together some strategy, see what's Harvard doing that's working and how can we improve on that. And let's hope that they can come out with something that can improve the strategy, hopefully get that lead back from Harvard, and then just snowball that all the way to the win. But Harvard's definitely been playing this defender half very, very well here. It's going to be 10-8 in Harvard's favor. We'll see how economy looks when we get back into this next round. But Miami is definitely going to have to shake up their strategy a little bit if they want to try to get this win back from Harvard and prevent them from taking us to a map 3.
Yeah, and also what we've been seeing is Miami is definitely doing one of those more defensive maps here and kind of just doing some of those things. But Miami and Harvard have been very similar to what they've been playing. I mean, either they'll be like, hey, I'm going to get 5 scores here, or then you guys get 5 scores, or it's going to be something like this where it's just back and forth. Miami does definitely need to close out something here because you don't want to see them have Harvard having a 3-point lead, especially considering they'd be at 11 at this point. And, I mean, overtime at that point would be incredibly hard to get to, but it looks like we're already going to be starting quick. Sith Lord is going to be first blood down. Miami's going to be down to 4 people, 3 people now, 2 people. Harvard is just using the Odin. I mean, just kind of mowing them down. That Odin is just, I mean, since it's such a it's definitely one of those guns where you kind of just, hey, you guys are in this area, I'm just going to point and shoot. And especially with that B area where there's not a lot of stuff to dodge. You have that giant pillar in the middle. You're not really able to move anywhere. There's not a lot of cover besides that pillar. So kind of watching how Miami, they're probably going to be going more C-side here, trying to find a little more cover, hopefully. Because they know that most of that team, like seeing Flamingo, having that Odin, definitely going to be doing a lot of damage and a lot more work there.
Miami really needs to win this round as their economy is down. They do have the extra ults, but you see that Neon Law coming out already. Are they going to get a kill? Sithor's going to get 1. Let's see if they can get anything else off this ultimate value. Is going to be left at 30 HP. He's not going to find anything just yet. Just kind of shooting through smoke, trying to see if they can get anyone. But Psych, again, with that shotgun, is able to TP on the site and get 2. Favorite Liar able to get the trade with Flamingo, taking out Favorite Liar. Miami's down 1 player. And it has some little worse guns. The Guardian on Rysick. Oh, unfortunately, that drone is going to take him out, and a Caro is going to spot out both Rysick and a Doomty. That brings this to 8-12. Unfortunately, Miami coming with a 2-round lead from the first half. Going to be left backs against the wall. Harvard only needs one more round win to win. Miami has to win 4 in a row to even bring this to an overtime, which I think is definitely doable. We've seen Miami's performance on this past half has been very good, but Harvard is able to bring things back for Miami. Miami only winning 1 round on this half. That timeout wasn't really the step that Miami needed to bring this out. They're going to have to really play on their A game, really decide where we're going to attack. They need high comms. They need to use their ultimates. They just need to do really anything they can to try to make sure they can win this back from Harvard. But Harvard has been playing insanely well on this half. They seem like an entirely new team compared to the first half.
And this is, like you said, Miami's do or don't. I mean, they're definitely going to need to come up with something here. It looks like they're going to try to do a little more spread out. It looks like 2 of them are going to kind of go more for B. It looks like 3 of them are actually kind of going more for B. And keeping 2 of our people back, kind of watching C and A respectively. I mean, it's going to be kind of interesting to see. Miami's kind of going to take some time, kind of reassess, being like, okay, hey, B side doesn't seem good. We're going to try going maybe C side or kind of regrouping. But kind of just going to watch Harvard spread out. They're going to be watching everything. They got 1 person A. They got 1 person going C now. 3 people in B. Again, I mean, if you're in B, you're going to be able to go around to C and A real quick. I mean, it's going to be in the middle of the map. It looks like their A man is going to be going over to B now. And they're going to kind of just wait out and see. Miami's going to have to do something here before they run out of time and kind of just give it up for Harvard. But, I mean, no shots have been fired yet. It's kind of been standoff, and there's Sith Lord kind of edging them out. And there's already some shots. It's already going into a quick fight. Harvard's down 1 person. Their Cypher was taken out. Miami up 5 up people. They're already planting the spike. They're already coming out with a lot of time on the clock. And Miami's down to 3 people now. Harvard's at 4 people. Miami's able to get a kill, but it looks like Support's taken out. Miami needs to plant this spike now. It looks like spike's planted, but their planter was killed. Ristic is going to be kind of sending something out, and it looks like they're going to take a shot on Uilas. It's up to Ristic now against Sova. Sova's kind of going to be looking around, trying to see if they can find anything. So they get some shots off, but it looks like Sova is able to block it, and it looks like Sova's going to be taking it out for the lead. And it looks like it's going to go to Harvard here, and that is going to be their map.
Unfortunately, Miami unable to close it out. Things looked really good for Miami at first, but we did see Flamingo getting 2 kills with that ultimate, that Sov ult. And unfortunately, typically it doesn't get too many kills. Maybe 1, it tends to push people off of the site, but it forced Miami to stop planning and did get 2 kills there, which is really unfortunate for Miami. And yeah, we see Salary, just insane performance, 23 kills, 13 deaths. 301 average combat score. The next highest is their teammate Flamingo, 248. Just Salary really carrying the Harvard team on their backs and really bringing them to victory there. And the rest of Miami did do a pretty decent job, but like I said, things kind of fell apart after that first snap, unfortunately. And we'll just have to see how Miami can bring things around. They did lose. It's either in the map pick going into map 3. So let's see if Miami can really turn things around. It's really unfortunate there for Miami. Rysick, try to pull out that pistol at the last second to try to maybe get a pistol right click, try to get a cheeky headshot kill, but unfortunately wasn't able to get things done there. So it just seems like the storyline for Miami there is that last map was unfortunate, but they got to shake it off. They won the first map pretty handily. They got to understand. Even though the first map was closer, they still showed dominance in that map. I would say Miami was the better team playing on that first map as well. But they just gotta shake it off. They understand, one bad half doesn't define us. One bad half doesn't say that we're the worst team in Harvard. We can bring things back. It's our map pick. Let's go. Let's win this next map here.
And that was Harvard's map pick. So they did know that they were going to be doing a lot of work there. And I definitely think that was going to be Salary's like, hey, this is going to be my map. I'm going to be able to do a lot here. And just being able to have 23 kills, only 13 deaths, I mean, is great for really any Valorant player, especially in like an esports and in like a tournament like the CVC. But kind of watching what's going to happen there. And Miami just wasn't able to kind of clear it out. They were able to do good on defense, but it's not going to be doing great there. But we are going to be going to Abyss next for our map. So that's going to be kind of interesting because that is one of the maps where you're able to fall off, correct?
Yeah, that's the second newest map is the one you're able to fall off. And It can have some really weird angles too with characters with dash like Jet, like Waylay. We've seen Uilas play Waylay twice on this map. I'm not sure how Waylay's tech uses too well on this map, but you can kind of like dash around gaps, dash over gaps, and really surprise your teammates with that strategy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Uilas go back to that Waylay on this next map as well. But yeah, we did see also on the last map, Harvard uses some more cheeky strategies, going for the Odin, going for the Judge, which by the community can be seen as low skill guns. But to be fair, anyone can buy those guns, anyone can use those guns.
Exactly.
Miami decided to go for more of the rifle strat, and even though just jump, Omen able to jump around, go through smokes, teleport with that shotgun, did a lot of work for Harvard. I'm not sure how well it's going to work onto Abyss if they go for the same strategy. Abyss has a lot of long sight lines, except for that one main site. At least the B site has a really long sight line, a little bit of a secret jump around. That main area is just literally one straight line that they can see through. It's going to be a lot more of medium to long range 1v1 gunfights. Who's going to win those rounds? And I don't think if Harvard decides to go for more of a judge strat again, it's going to work as well. But we'll see how the comps switch out. It seems like we're going to go to a little bit of a break. We're going to go to map 3, Miami University versus Harvard. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Miami versus Harvard CVC Map 3. We're going to Abyss. This is Miami's map pick. Miami has been, in the past couple of weeks, said they do prefer this map compared to some of the others, so I'm sure they're happy to be going to Abyss here. It should be a good start for Miami, I would hope, as they seem pretty confident on this map. Miami already locking in their comp. Going for 2 duelists this time. Doomsday decided, you know what, I'm not gonna be the team player, the typical IGL. I'm gonna go into Reyna and just try to frag out, try to get as many kills as I can. Maybe that will help us go to victory. And we will see. But Sith are gonna be going on that jet as well, as we said. Jet has some different cheeky little spots where you can float and defend the spike. I know on when this first map came out, this thing where you could use jet knives and slowly float off the map and like use that to defend the spike if it's playing on the bridge. I don't know if we're gonna see anything that crazy on this map, but Jet has some weird stuff this map. Could be Rysik on the Omen. Favorite Liar gonna be back onto that Sentinel. It's gonna be Vise this time, the newest Sentinel addition to the game. Vise has been pretty good at locking down sites. You know, they do have a flash as well, so that's going to be their main flashes. You know, Pathos is the initiator, is going to be on Sova. That's going to be purely information. We do have flashes from, we have one flash from Omen, one flash from Vise, and two flashes for Reyna. Reyna's flashes are a little bit more selfish per se compared to the other teammates. And we do see on the side of Harvard, we do see Uilas on the Yoru actually instead of the Waylay. Decides not to go for the Waylay route this map. Vise also on the side of Harvard. It seems like Vise might be the best Sentinel option for this map. And Salary on the KO instead of the Sentinel. You know, so we've seen Salary had a lot of great lurk potential and a lot of great team carry potential, as we saw on the last map as well. Clearly getting the best score out of anyone in the lobby. So we'll see if KO, which, you know, is a pretty good self-sustained self-sustained agent because they have the two flashes and a great team player as well. Has both information and flashes in one, a little bit similar to Sky. So I'm excited to see how this round will go out. Miami starting on the defender side. It seems like Harvard wants to go for mostly a B push. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to have one player from Harvard going to be lurking towards mid. Miami going for a 2-1-2 defense here. So hopefully Miami can learn. Both are duelists actually defending at the B site. Hopefully the duelists can learn that they're going here, can dash out, can get out and wait for the rest of the team to go through. But we'll see if this mid lurk from Harvard's going to be able to get them anything either.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting also, where we're already going to be seeing a kill. Miami's going to kill Harvard, and that's going to be on B side. So Miami's going to need to know that, hey, we need to get over to B as soon as possible. And Miami's able to keep, we're able to keep a little lead there. It's now going to be 3-3. And they are going to be planning spike here. So Harvard is now going to be just playing defense on the spike. A lot of good Omen smokes here. It looks like Psyche is going to try to stay in that smoke for as long as possible. But once that smoke goes away, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what Pathos does. They're really close, and that's already going to be a kill on Psyche with that smoke going away. So now we have 2-on-2. We're back down to the Sova and the Omen versus the Vise and the Yoru. But they're going to need to kind of be able to disarm this spike here soon, or else it's not going to be able to go through. And it looks like Reyna's going to get the ace there.
No. That Yoru ace from Uilas there. Great stuff from him. Just able to just kind of loop around that little section of the site and just pick off Miami one by one as there was pressure from another teammate back on more into the B side. It's really unfortunate for Miami. They started off that push very well, getting the initial pick, seeing where the spike was and able to back out. But then, you know, Willis was able to pick off all 5 members of Miami and get enough for a full rifle into this round with some shields and some money to spare as well. So Miami's definitely going to be in a deficit in terms of guns, but we'll see if they're able to hold down Harvard as they decide to full pivot towards an A push instead. As Miami seems like they're trying to get aggressive on the B side, but Harvard said, nope, we're not there. We're just going to A, and it's just going to be favorite Liar on that Vise. He's stuck on that site, and he's able to get out here as we see that Harvard is going to be full pushing there. Miami going for a 4 flank here. Let's see if they're able to catch Harvard off guard or if they're going to be able to predict that a little bit. Favorite Liar just going to be sitting in the corner, waiting on the team to have a timing in the back and see if they can get them all down. It seems like Harvard isn't super prepared for this flank here. Let's see what happens behind them.
Yeah, and that smoke looks like it was a little off, and it's going to be looking like we're going to see what we're going to have with this flank. It looks like Sith Lord is going to start with that flank. It looks like Pathos is going to be kind of picking up the slack. Going to take some shots on Willis. Takes out Willis. He's going to get hit a couple of times. Going to send out that Yoru arrow, but it wasn't enough. They were able to get that in there. Akira was just able to kind of read what was going to happen there and keep on putting pressure on that Sova. So it's definitely going to be kind of hard for Miami. Already down 0-2. I mean, and also now they're going to be pulling out the stabs. Now they're going to get shields, and they're going to get their better rifles and guns there. But we're going to see Harvard. They're going to be already kind of keeping most of their guns. I mean, Miami was able to take out 2 or 3 of them there. But it's going to be kind of tough to see, especially because Salary almost already at 5,000 credits again. I mean, we're seeing a lot of Harvard players, and their players are going to be getting them a lot more money a lot quicker, so they're going to be able to get that. And it looks like Willis is going to be kind of doing like a little kind of scouting mission, kind of going around Sith Lord and trying to take some shots. but Sith Lord is going to be kind of following what's going to happen here. And it's going to be kind of interesting. It looks like most of Harvard's going A, and we have 1 or 2 people on A. Everybody's going to need to come off of B and go back towards A. It's going to be kind of hard to see, and it's going to be Spike is going to be planted now. We have a little omen smoke there with Ristic, and they're going to be setting up the drone. Ristic is going to try to take it out, but I think they were able to see him there, and kind of has the high ground here. But I mean, Flamingo is going to be kind of watching that corner, and going to keep an eye out on that. They're blinded though. That's a shot in the air. Miami's down to 2. Harvard's down to 1. They're down to their Yoru. I mean, Dunti is going to have to kind of watch what's going to happen here as we're going to see our Omen take out the spike. And it looks like defenders are going to get it. And there we go. We have Miami on the board now. Down 1, but it's definitely going to be something where Miami can't come back from here. But mainly just getting on the board is going to be a great thing. Harvard, I mean, isn't going to be taking a huge hit, especially with the creds. They were in a pretty good situation. Miami, thankfully, was able to keep 2 of their players alive, so they're going to be able to keep their guns a little better. But Favorite Lion and Sith Lord are going to be looking like they're going to be on pistols again, so that's going to be kind of hard for them.
Yeah, Miami was able. It would be really unfortunate Miami lost that last round because they all full bought guns, but they were able to win. And unfortunately, Uilas wasn't able to take down any players from Miami at the last second there. So they have at least 2 guns left over from the last round. Harvard though has plenty of money though, has the guns to come back. They used that Euro out last round though, but still lost, so there's not going to be there. And Uilas already taken down from a dude. That's a huge first pick there. That's going to be their main way of getting into sight with that Euro going to be taken down, and Harvard's in a little bit of a bad situation here. They weren't able to get the trade. Doom Team was able to get the kill and get out very quickly. Harvard is still lurking on the A side. Miami is a little bit ready. 3 players on the A side. Just kind of waiting to see what Harvard decides to do. That util's going to start coming out from Harvard. Might get an inkling like they are going to go A here. A full util's going to be going out as well, but Harvard not able to push out yet. It's lots of util going through. That drone's going to go through, going to spy up Rystick on Heaven. So like Harvard's deciding, maybe it's a bad idea to go here, and it's starting to turn around a little bit. We do see the Oma TP going to go on to B with the bomb. We do see Sith Lord, though, was waiting there with that ultimate. Decided not to full rotate yet. Is going to be right here and ready to catch that plant. Not able to stop it, unfortunately. It might be a little worried about any support from the other team, but am I able to get this kill on to Psych here? But, he does have his favorite gun, the Judge. Let's see if Sith Lord's able to get this 1v1 through. Is she going to expect it there? No, unfortunately, able to get 2, both Sith Lord and Favorite Liar. And that Judge just keeps working for Psych. Fortunately, Rice is able to shoot at Psych from behind as they get the site, but, that bomb is slowly ticking. It's 3v3. Miami still has to get that bomb down. The smoke's going to go down. Are they going to catch a Caro? Yes, they are. Pathos getting that kill down. The spike is a little bit open here. It's able for Rice to start defusing that slowly but surely. Let's see if they can get half at least. They got half. Are they going to be able to finish the fuse? Pathos is going to try to defend the bomb defender, but no. Salary going to be flanking into Heaven, able to take down the diffuser just 0.28 seconds from defusal. That is really, really unfortunate, but great play from Harvard. Salary able to get the flank down. The Salary's lurks have been huge, bringing huge value kills for Harvard, bringing things to 1-3. Miami, unfortunately, unable to tie that up and back into an economy deficit as well. That was a great run from Harvard, but again, it's just another unfortunate story for Miami. Miami's going to really have to try to turn this around here and make sure Harvard can't get too much of a snowball in the economy or in the rounds.
Yeah, and also watching how Miami's going to be kind of answering here. They're, going to be sending 1 person on B, 1 person in middle. Most on A. They're going to be betting that they're going to be going A, and that's already a Dunti down. Salary was able to get the kill there. Nice smoke by Ristic, being able to get the gun there. Location... the Ristic's location is revealed. They're going to be sending some stuff off. It looks like someone might have or the Yoru clone just fell off the map there. Yeah. Kind of a weird placement for Yoru. But Ristic's going to take some shots in the smoke. No one's going to be there. It's going to be 1-1 though, so it looks like there's going to be something that can happen here. But it's going to be kind of hard. We're going to see Pathos kind of going for a little kind of flank here, but they're going to be getting some shots. It looks like also one of Miami's players, one of them is going to be heading back towards B, making sure nothing's happening there. And they're going to be kind of watching what's going to happen. They're going to come back to A. It looks like most of them are going to be kind of hanging out between that hallway between A and B, getting ready. It looks like Harvard's going to be taking their push now. And, I mean, Miami was not ready for it, so they're going to be having some advantage there. And Salary's going to send up a bomb in that smoke. I mean, that's one of the best spots for an Omen smoke to go. Having both teams having Omens I mean, that area is perfect. You're able to have that range in that area, but it looks like Uilas is able to get down that spike. Miami is down to 2 people. Harvard's at 3. Never mind. Harvard is at 2. That was a quick shot by Sith Lord, and it looks like Sith Lord's going to get some shots.
No!
Oh, it looks like Uilas is able to take it out there, but we're down to our 1 jet. Sith Lord is going to take some shots.
Whoa!
They're able
Oh
to
my
clutch
God!
it!
Oh my God, what an ace! Oh, using that sniper just to get one and then get another and dash out and defuse the spike. Great play from Sith Lord. Someone clip that. Holy. Just outplayed. That's crazy. I was really scared after Pathos dropped down, unable to get that kill, but wow, Sith Lord with an insane 5K back to the top of that leaderboard, most kills in the lobby. Just round of applause there. Great play, and it was a crucial round win for Miami. Brings that round victory down to just 1 round in between. Miami has full guns, full rifles. Harvard's in a little bit more of a worse spot in terms of economy. Miami is in a great spot to try to flip this around, bring this to a tie. But we do see many players on the side of Harvard only 1 or 2 points away from their ultimate. There's a couple in Miami as well. But you do have to keep in mind those Harvard ultimates could come online mid-round, and they're able to use those to help close out the round as well. But let's see how Miami's able to defend this here. Most of Harvard's going to go back for another B push. It seems like Miami has 3 on. They're a little bit more prepared for this push here. They're going to try to get onto the site here. Syke already on site, coming to the back, but Budetti already able to take him down. That's a great kill there. That Vice out is going to be going out for Harvard, but I don't think anyone from Miami was affected by it. Harvard's going to try to push out after that ultimate thing in there in the clear, but not really. Miami's going to be pushing out. Great call to Uilas from Favorite Liar. And Harvard's just down to 2 players on the site here. Pathos getting a great call to Flamingo, and now it's just Salary in the back getting 1 call to Favorite Liar, but Pathos taking out Salary finally, and Miami brings it back to 3-3, only losing 2 players. A great round for Miami.
Yeah, that's definitely something that Miami needed there. I mean, it did take... Now, Miami doesn't have any of their ultimates. The closest one is Favorite Liar and Ristic. Whereas we see with Harvard, they're able to have 2 of their ultimates and 2 other people 1 point away from their ultimate. So it's going to be very tough for Miami, especially if they get... either Akero or Uilas gets the kill there or gets an ult orb. They're already going to be able to get their ultimates ready there. But Miami is definitely going to be able to keep the pressure on. Both Yorus are going to kind of send some smokes out. It looks like Harvard is going to be going for kind of a split up. 3 of them going middle and 2 of them kind of going more towards A side. Miami is going to be kind of watching that and being able to kind of see what's going to happen. We do have 1 person on Miami who's on B. It looks like they're going back around, but it looks like Harvard's down 2 people. Miami's down 1. Sith Lord is going to be taking most of this. Has a great smoke placement to dash out. They don't know where they went. Puts up another smoke, is going to take some shots off with that. Make sure they can get to the other side. Make sure they can get some better angles. Kind of going for those angle shots with the being able to shoot through the wall there. But Omen's going to set up a nice smoke, and they're going to get some shots, and there we go. Harvard's down. Miami is able to keep 4 of their players and hopefully defuse here. This is what we want to see with Miami. I mean, Miami is definitely keeping those kills, making sure that they're not letting up any pressure. They're keeping they're making sure that everything's staying good. Now we see that Miami has 3 of their ultimates ready. I mean, that was such a crucial turning point in the game. Now Harvard only has 2 of their ultimates, and not really any of them are very close on their team. Syke and Uilas both used their ults there and weren't able to kind of capitalize on it, so now they're starting from the bottom.
Yeah, Miami is definitely in a complete advantageous position across the board. They have the round lead, they have the economy lead, they have the ultimate lead. Everything's looking towards Miami continuing to win yet another round. But again, Harvard might have the better strategy here. They might be able to catch Miami off guard. Syke able to cross, but Budetti kicking him down. Harvard already down 1 player. Harvard is pretty split across the map. 2 mid, one on the B side, 1 on the A sides. They're kind of a little bit spread out here. They're gonna have to try to regroup and try to get gone to a side push here because they clearly can't just win Miami out with trades. They're already down 1 player. And Favorite Liar taking on another kill onto Flamingo here as well. You see Uilas on the side of A. You get taken out by Sith Lord yet again. And there's me spraying to the smoke. And Harvard's already down to 2 players, and 1's in mid, 1's in A site. Let's see if Harvard can do anything here, but both Harvard players do have ultimates that could help them push onto the side here. But also, we do see Harvard is pretty low on the economy, so if they have guns, they might decide, maybe we'll just save them. Maybe we'll try to just get a couple players of Miami down. It'll help us build towards the next round. We can just think about the next round after this, which might be what's happening. They're playing pretty safe here on their sides, not really doing too much here. But Miami is staying vigilant, not getting too aggressive here, which is what Harvard wants. They want them to run into them, die early, lose their 1v1s, and then it brings Harvard back into the advantage state. But clearly that's not happening. Salary just sitting with the spike on the A side with the Marshall out. Miami isn't peeking at all. Their teammate is now here. They might try to get some sort of push going here. But Rysick is ready and waiting in heaven. Is going to take some damage from Makara, but is also going to do some damage as well. Sith Lord ready to take him down, and Sith Lord Rysick, the duo, shoots them down onto the A side and takes them down. A flawless victory for Miami, not losing anyone there. Going to continue their dominance in both the round, both the economy and the ultimate charge. Harvard's in a really, really bad spot here. They really need a round, cheeky round win, or to use their guns right now and their ultimates to try to stop Miami's momentum. 4 round wins in a row, unanswered from Harvard. It's looking to be more and more Miami's favor. I'm personally loving it, but I know the players on Harvard are a little bit worried right now.
Yeah, and also kind of looking at how Sith Lord is. Sith Lord is at 14 kills and 4 deaths. Very similar to what we saw with Salary, where they were at 23 kills and 13 deaths at the end of the game. This is definitely going to be a map that Sith Lord is going to be focused on, and this is something that they're going to be playing a lot of, and going to be really good at and knowing what's going to happen here. But it looks like Miami's already going to be keeping a lot of pressure. It looks like most of Harvard's going to be going mid, and that's already some quick kills there. It looks like they were able to take out a Doom team, and also looks like they were able to take out Panthers. But Harvard is down to 2. Miami is up 3. They have their Omen, they have their Vice, they have their Jet. It's going to be kind of hard for Harvard to come back here, especially because, I mean, Miami covering both of the sites. They know that they're in the middle. They're watching the middles. They're making sure. Now, we do have one of the Harvard players kind of looking more like they're going to be going B, whereas we have 2 Miami players on A. If they both are going to go B, it's going to be really hard for our Miami player on B to kind of hold their own there. And it looks like they're going to be kind of moving back around the Jet, and it looks like Sith Lord and Ristic are going to kind of move back around from spawn back towards B. Harvard's going to kind of regroup, and it looks like it's going to be up to Favored Liar. Favored Liar's going to take some shots, and Favored Liar gets the kills. That is definitely something that Miami is great at, especially Favored Liar. Favored Liar is able to, I've said it multiple times, I'm going to say it again, Favored Liar can hold their own. Favored Liar can close out games in those scenarios. They are not worried about having a 4v1. They're not worried about having a 5v1. They are just going to do as much damage, making sure the team can tell, hey, this is where they are. I'm going to try to take 2 or 3 of them out. If I get taken out, hey, I'm putting us at an advantage here, which is incredibly important, especially in these games. But it looks like Harvard is going to be going more for a B push here. Miami going to be a lot more spread out again, but keeping Miami's players great positioning on B. There's going to be a wall going up. It looks like Stike is going to be taking some shots. We have Pathos, and it looks like Favorite Liar kind of watching those angles, being ready. It looks like Psych is maybe going to be trying to plant the spike here, but it looks like Harvard's already down 1 player, and I mean Psych is really pinned in that spot. They're not able to move really because Pathos and Favorite Liar are kind of just going to be watching there, and they're going to be making sure that they're still there and try to get an arrow off. I mean, Psych is really stuck there, and it looks like a Doomty was able to get 2 kills on Harvard before Salary was able to get them. Psych is down, so it looks like it's only going to be up to their 1 Miami player, and it looks like they get shot through the pucks. Pathos taking the shot, and Miami again, 4 players still alive. They're looking good. I mean, they're keeping their creds up. They're keeping most of their stuff up. Now, I will say, Harvard's ultimates are looking better than Miami's now, but I think Miami just has a great lead that even if they can get their ults up, it's going to be hard to come back from Harvard, and then they can get their ults back up and keeping just such an advantageous lead with Miami.
Yeah, at this point, Miami already has seven round wins. They're going to come out with this half with the advantage either way, and it's just how much more can Miami snowball. At this point, Miami winning 6 unanswered rounds is not going to be worried about economy at all for the rest of this half. They can kind of just buy whatever they want. It's going to be Harvard who has to be a little bit more worried about can we win this round with as little people dying as possible so we can bring those guns into the final round of the round? But Psych already going down by Pathos. A Doomty with the operator, taking down Flamingo as well. Favorite Liar getting a kill as well. It's just the power of friendship here for Miami. Taking down everyone one by one. Sour getting 1 kill, but Miami here looks like they have insane synergy, insane teamwork. Everything's just working out. It's like the sun rose for Miami or something. Miami locked in, and they are playing this map insanely well. 8-3. But you know, we can keep in mind that first map, you know, maybe Harvard can get another kill. It's gonna be back to 8-4, exactly how it was on the first map when Harvard on that second half started to bring things back together. At one point it was 11-11 before Miami eventually won that map. So Miami still has to stay on their toes a little bit, especially if Harvard wins this last and final round of the half. That, you know, Harvard definitely has some comeback potential. And, you know, Miami also came out with the lead in the last map as well. So it's just really up to, if Miami has the lead already, can they keep this lead? Can they keep Harvard back from coming back? And we do see Salary at the top of the Harvard leaderboard. Salary's been great at being the comeback story for Harvard. But let's see if they can continue that forward into this map as well, or if Miami's just going to continue their complete dominance on this.
Yeah, and also kind of watching what we saw back on the score sheets, that Miami, none of them were in a deficit besides one of them for kills. They were all pretty much equal. And it looks like that we're going to see a lot more of a risky play, that we're going to see Harvard going through the middle and having 2 people going both A and B. And Miami, as we know, is going to be watching middle. Sith Lord is going to be watching Uilas, and Pathos is going to be watching the other corner. Getting ready for what looks like Salary is going to try to go through there. And Miami really holding their ground here. I mean, it's going to be ready. Pathos is going to get some shots off. It looks like 2 kills, Sith Lord and Pathos. Harvard's down to 2 people. Miami is definitely coming out with a lot better of a play. And it looks like Flamingo is going to be there. Sith Lord is going to be able to take it out. And that is a flawless victory before the round swap here for Miami. Miami is up 9-3 to Harvard. Now, we are getting through the switch, so there could be something happening here, but I definitely think Miami knows this map. Miami plays this. They have characters that they know how to use on this map. There's a lot of dashing. There's a lot of smokes. I mean, this map is going to be great for both of the Omen players to do, but I definitely want to see how Miami's going to do here. And it looks like Favored Liar and all of them are going to be going B side, whereas a lot of Harvard is going to be, 2 of them are going to be on A. One of them is going to be in the middle. 2 of them are kind of going to be on B. One of them's mainly in B. The other one's kind of in the middle between the middle and B, and kind of going more middle there now. So it looks like Harvard's going to try to figure out, hey, where they're going to be. They're going to be going B now. Harvard's going to start heading back over. It looks like they're going to try to do a little bit of a flanking maneuver here, having 2 people going down and the one person staying up. It looks like Sith Lord is taken out there. Wasn't able to reload their pistol there soon enough. And it's going to be a 3 for Harvard, 4 for Miami. 3 for Miami now, 2 for Miami.
Oh, no.
Harvard's kind of taking control here, but Miami definitely is able to take some shots, take some power. Favorite Liar is going to be able to get some shots off. Uilas is going to be there. Now we have Pathos there. They're going to send out the Sova Dart. Pathos is able to get the kill, and Miami's able to get the first win of the set.
Great 3 game from Pathos. I know the Pathos fans in the chat are going to be happy about that one and bring it to 10-3. Miami just needs to win 3 more rounds to bring this through. And they won pistol round, which means they already have the gun advantage here. It seems like Harvard might decide to force buy anyway with some SMGs, as you know, they're kind of in a really bad position here. I was going to mention earlier, there's a thing in Valorant esports called the 9-3 curse, where there's been several teams who have had a 9-3 victory in the first half and then end up losing anyway. So that could be, you know, that could happen here for Harvard, and they end up snowballing this to a victory. But losing the pistol round already makes things look really not great. Harvard just needs any sort of win, any sort of way that they can start bringing this back in their favor. But Miami is still showing their complete dominance on the side of the map, and they're definitely playing a little bit more passively. As we know, on save rounds, sometimes those guns are a little bit more close range. So Miami is just going to try to play back a little bit more, wait for Harvard to try to make the first round get too aggressive. And Sith Lord takes down Uilas and doing exactly that, waiting to see if Harvard's going to get too aggressive and then take them out from a distance. And now Miami has a little bit of an advantage going into this A-site push. Seems like everyone's going to push back, but Psych, back on that shotgun, is able to take down right stick. Going to get the bomb down as well, but Sith Lord's already on site. Psych's kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. And is going to take down that Sova Dart. Sith Lord already on site, going to take down Okaro as well. It's going to be 4v2 for Miami. Bomb already going down. It's a little bit of a hard position for Harvard here.
Yeah, and there goes another one of their players, and there goes both of them. Sithlord and Favorite Liar both getting the last kills. I mean, Miami, again, taking control. This is definitely one of the maps they know. This is definitely something they practice really well, like what we saw with Harvard last game. I mean, Harvard was just able to control the map so well on that with Haven, and now we're going to see Miami controlling the map on Abyss. It's definitely going to be it was really up to that first game. That first game was the closest one. Where neither of them really knew which map they were going to get into. The bans were going to be going out of the way. But Miami 11-3. I'm not saying Harvard can't come back, but Miami is definitely at a better spot with their ultimates, with their guns, with their creds. Really, everything is just looking better, and they're able to kind of just wait them out. They have the range attacks. They have better focus here. And it looks like they're all going to be kind of focused on B for Harvard, and two of them are kind of be going A, whereas most of Miami's in the middle now. So with Miami in the middle, they're going to kind of be focusing more on their spawn, not a lot on the middle. It looks like now they're like, hey, where are they? So they're going to be going towards the middle more. But Miami's kind of there waiting, getting ready for some shots to go off. And here we have Sith Lord at the higher ground, being able to take some shots. It looks like Favorite Liar is also going to be there, ready to shoot through the box and hopefully get some shots off there. But kind of not going for one of the sites here is definitely going to be something Miami is going to take a heavy advantage for. And they're going to, Sith Lord's kind of go through that little secret path there, try to go for, it looks like A site. They're taking A site now. And being able to plant the bomb here, or plant the spike. And now Harvard all has to get their players over. Spike has been planted. It's going to be hard. Favorite Liar takes some shots, but they're going to be taken out. Harvard's down to 2 people. Miami's at 4 people. I mean, Harvard has to do something here. It's going to be hard for them to come back here.
Yeah, and Harvard already only has 2 people left. They have to try to defend the spike somehow. Sithor gets 1, but Flamingo gets the trade, and Pathos gets Flamingo down. Miami 12-3, 1 round away, and you win this map. You can say Miami, we beat Harvard, we beat the Ivy League school, we beat the TikToker Willies, I guess. I don't know. Energy in the name is pretty cool, but we do have one more round. Harvard has to do anything that they can do. They're going to be force buying, try to spend as much money as they can. They don't really have the ultimates on board, which is not great for them. Miami doesn't have the ultimates on board either, but Harvard needs anything that they can do to win this and maybe do an insane sweep, bring us back to overtime. But as we're seeing, Miami just showing complete dominance on this map. Both are duelist Sith Lord and as they're saying, Sith Lord and a Doomty, both having insane performances on this map, really getting out those early picks and bringing Miami into the advantage state every single round. And Miami even dropped the spike back in their spawn. They're going to try to push up and get some picks and maybe go back for the spike if they need to. But as we've seen in the past, Miami might just win this round off of straight kills. They've been insanely good at their ones, insanely good at their picks here on this map. And they're showing why they picked this map. But unfortunately, Flamingo, with a little pixel angle, takes down Sith Lord there. And it's going to be back to even for Miami and Harvard.
Yeah, now Doomty's in kind of a hard spot because they're going to be having 3 people that are going to be taking shots at him. Now, they were able to take one of them out, but it's going to be now 2-3. Harvard actually has the advantage now, but we do still have Favorite Liar, who has been able to clutch up and do a lot of really good plays against Harvard in these situations. Favorite Liar is going to be kind of focused on where that smoke is going to be from the Omen, and going to be watching what's going to happen here. And it looks like they're going to see Psych through the smoke, kind of peek through. It looks like Ristic is also going to take some shots. We have to see something from Favorite Liar here to close out the game. Favorite Liar is going to take some shots, but it looks like Harvard's able to get one more round. I mean, they're at a heavy deficit, though. Miami definitely has the funds. But if we're going to be able to see here, Miami now has 3 out of the 5 of them having their ultimates. And Pathos is only 1 away from their ultimate. Miami can easily close out this game here and just be done with it. As long as they can time their ultimates right, as long as they can get some shots off. It looks like Sith Lord still kind of sticking with the pistol, it looks like, this round. Kind of interesting, but they're probably going to be mainly going for that ultimate with the with Jet's knives there. Yep, there we have it. So they're going to be going with ultimate with Jet's knives. They're like, hey, I don't even need to get a rifle or any better gun. I have my knives. So they're going to be trying to take control there.
Yeah, and Harvard last round finally able to get a win after 11 unanswered round wins for Miami. And able to close that round out. But Miami seems like they're still going to be going for more of a mid push, leaving that spike back in their spawn so they don't give it away to Harvard, and see what sort of picks they can get here. Sith Lord taking the point with those knives. Going to try to see if Harvard's going to do anything more aggressive here. It seems like they're going to still be sitting back, though, Psych with that shotgun, just ready and waiting for Miami to push up. But Miami's still playing very, very passive here. So like they don't see any action from Harvard. They're going to fall back to that spike, and it seems like they're rotating for more of an A push here. Three members of Harvard already there. Uilas already going to take a kill on the right side. Sith Lord, though, with those knives, going to push in, get one kill, but unfortunately isn't able to get the second. Psych taking out Sith Lord. Pathos taking out Willis, and Favorite Liar taking down Psych as well. It's going to be 2v2 for Miami. Thankfully, they're able to bring it back to an even round, and both of Miami's players do have their ultimates left. It seems like it's a pretty good spot for them just to rotate towards B. They have 30 seconds left, enough time to plant the spike, and both Harvard members are going to be on the A site, and they're going to have to repush the site where there's going to be 2 ultimates down, and they're going to have even less time to push there because they're just now deciding to realize that, maybe Miami's going to be here and they have to rotate back. But Favorite Liar, able to get that plant down. Let's see if Miami can close out this map here, or if, unfortunately didn't plant the spike in time. It seemed like a little bit of a mistake there, but thankfully still gets it down, doesn't completely sell the round there. But will Harvard be able to take down this Miami team here and continue their fight another day, or will Miami just simply win this round with an insane 13-4 lead?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to tell because also they're kind of moving away from the spike now, thinking that they're going to try to come back around. But they're already back at the spike. Harvard's going to be there getting ready for B. Miami's Akero is going to be trying to take it out. Favorite Liar is going to try to get some shots off. It looks like they're able to interrupt them, taking them out. Favorite Liar is going to get the kill, and that means Miami gets the win here.
Great stuff from Favorite Liar. A 3K to close out the map. Great stuff. Going to end up this 2-1 Miami, and it's pretty clear why Miami chose Abyss. Just insane stuff. 4 members of Miami on the top of the leaderboard for Abyss, and look at that Sith Lord. 340 average combat score, 70 points above team captain Adumti, and that insane ace in the middle of the round was just proves that maybe Abyss is just Sith Lord's domain, just complete dominance from that player, only dying 8 times, 24 kills. I believe that's a 3.0 KD ratio. That's insane. Great stuff there, and great stuff from Miami all around. Every single map they had at least a half where they were showing that they were clearly dominant on their map. They had really good halves. You saw the second map, they did unfortunately lose it a little bit in the end there, but Miami still, when they're all back to a map that they're comfortable on, they clearly dominated this Harvard team, showing that they are the better team. And I just want to congratulate the players for a great win there.
Yeah, I mean, Harvard had us kind of worried in the second game where they were able to kind of just close that out real quick. But Miami, Abyss, that is their map. That you can't tell me that's not their map. You have all 4 of them in the top 4. And I mean, we had Ristic, who was a little lower, but I mean, definitely having our duelist being that high up, it's going to be game ending. I mean, that's definitely what you want to see. And also having all of them being able to have that many points ahead. Sith Lord having so many more points. You also have Favorite Liar also having I believe 5 more kills than deaths. You're going to have a lot of scenarios where you're going to be like, hey, it's just going to be our map. It's going to be how it is. And that's what we kind of saw. So that beginning game was kind of the deciding factor. We were so close. Whereas both of them could kind of just pick which map they wanted to be on. And hopefully the other team didn't have that map in their arsenal.
That's why it's so advantageous to win the first map in a best-of-3 series, because even if you do lose that second map, doesn't mean that team's preferred map, and you actually get their preferred map on the third map of that round, and it clearly showed that Miami able to close that first map out. 13-11 was able to make sure that they got the map that they actually wanted onto that third point. So great stuff there for Miami. We'll be back with more Valorant next Friday. I'm not too sure if we'll be able to get a stream out for that. It is our fall break, so we might not have the team for it, but at least our Valorant players will be playing that match next Friday. So stay tuned for that. It is a Swiss state, so we don't know our schedule just yet. If you're new to our streams, we do have streams every single week from Miami. Our schedule is typically, we do have Smash every Monday at 7 p.m. We have Overwatch every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m., and we have Rocket League every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Valorant is typically at 8:30, but it got pushed up to 5 today, so a little bit of an earlier end today for us. But make sure to tune into those streams if you like any of those other games. If not, Valorant will be back in full swing with actual Maction in our ESC conference next semester, along with League of Legends and Street Fighter. But for now, my name has been Trae Linkling Moss.
And I'm Jacob Chewy Gundrum.
Thank you so much for watching. That is going to be the end of our series tonight. Congrats to Miami, and thank you for watching.